This event marks the official start of the holiday season here in Washington. It's also my last time to speak here as your president during this season and give thanks and gratitude. So let me say to you, it's been the honor of my life. I'm forever grateful. May we use this moment to take time from our busy lives and focus on what matters most, our families. My dad used to have an expression, family's the beginning, the middle, and the end. Our friends and our neighbors.
Peach and Blossom will live out their days at Farm America, an agriculture interpretive center near Waseca in southern Minnesota. The center's aim is to promote agriculture and educate future farmers and others about agriculture in America.
This message is from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. If you're having a tough time or thinking about suicide, you're not alone. And there's hope. VA's Veterans Crisis Line is full of responders who listen and help. Many are veterans or have veteran family members and friends, so they're prepared to address your challenges. After calling, you'll be connected to the next available crisis line responder. That person may ask, are you thinking of suicide? Well, what plan can we put in place to keep you safe today? If you choose, the responder will share your name and personal information with your local VA suicide prevention coordinator, who'll connect you to local VA assistance and resources. Don't wait. Dial 988, then press 1.
News Talk 1560 AM, 94.1 FM, KTUI, Sullivan. It's 6 o'clock. Good morning. This is KTUI Radio, beginning a new day of broadcasting. KTUI is owned and operated by Merrimack Area Broadcasting, LLC of Sullivan, Missouri. Broadcast facilities are located at 900 Elmont Road in Sullivan. KTUI is authorized by the Federal Communications Commission to operate on an assigned frequency of 1560 kilohertz on the AM band and K231CP and FM translator frequency of 94.1 megahertz. The assigned power for KTUI AM is 1,000 watts and the power for the FM translator is 250 watts. We invite you to tune in daily to AM 1560 or 94.1 FM for the latest news, weather, and information. And now, the President's own U.S. Marine Corps Band with our national anthem.
The way, and the story is told of the young child who wrote a short letter to God saying, I didn't think orange and purple went together until I saw the sunset you made yesterday. That was cool. And how cool it is that the little boy knew that God was involved in making sunsets. God is involved in our everyday lives. He's
27 out at the Sullivan Regional Airport. Increasing cloudiness for us today, high near 49. Going to be mostly cloudy tonight, low around 36. Cloudy skies tomorrow, 40% chance of rain, mainly after 4 p.m., high near 49. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, 40% chance of rain before midnight, low around 30. Mostly sunny on Thanksgiving Day, high near 40. Mostly clear Thursday night, low around 21, and sunny on Friday, high near 36. All right, 17 minutes before 7 o'clock. Again, 29 degrees here at the studios, 27 out at Sullivan Regional Airport. Time for us to go out across our wide Missouri on KTUI.
Across our wide Missouri with Bob Pretty. Listen to show archives, hear about this day
Sunday school at 10, morning worship at 11, evening worship at 6. On Wednesdays, they have Elevate Youth, First Kids, and Bible Study all at 6 p.m. They're located at 22 West Vine Street in Sullivan, right across the street from the post office. And their pastor, Chester Lohman, their associate and youth pastor, Steve Day, and the congregation invite you to attend one of their services.
I have two little girls myself. They're 4 and 2.
This is Focus on the Family Minute, and Jessica Harris offers ways to help your children think appropriately about sexuality.
And with our 4-year-old, even we've started to set the framework for this. Even because the same framework that protects against something like this protects against
tornado struck, I assure you that it was him who was responsible for much of the aid that came to us.
Richard, who died in 2023, was known for telling it like it is, holding weekly history lessons about the Missouri Capitol, and making sure lawmakers dressed in a professional manner. Missouri students can now apply for financial aid to go to college or get a short-term training certificate next year. Allison Notter with the Department of Higher Education and Workforce Development says the application can be daunting to fill out, but there's help available.
We encourage students and families to attend a FAFSA Frenzy event hosted by their school if possible. But also our outreach team also offers virtual office hours available for one-on-one filing support.
Notter encourages students to file their application before February 3rd to be considered for the most state financial aid available. For help, go to journeytocollege.mo.gov. This is MissouriNet.
Beef memories from holidays past.
Put your phones down. Favorite beef memories. Go.
Ooh, last year's smash burgers on the outdoor griddle.
How about the year it was so cold outside, but Dad smoked that brisket to perfection?
Oh, and remember the year Dad made that beef tenderloin?
And let's not forget that pistachio-crusted rib roast.
I was on my game that year.
Make this holiday season unforgettable. Visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com for tasty recipes and tips. Brought to you by Missouri's Beef Farmers and Ranchers.
Attention basketball fans, don't miss your shot this season. When it comes to protecting your health, that means getting your annual flu and COVID-19 vaccinations. Just like your team aims for the perfect shot, aim for the best protection with your vaccines. For more details on how to stay healthy and ready for every game, check out moimmunize.org. Keep your health in the game and enjoy the season.
The Better Business Bureau warns Missourians to not be fooled by a fake package delivery scam. Anthony Moore with reports.
The holiday shopping season is here, and online purchases and package deliveries skyrocket during this time of year. Because of that, the Better Business Bureau says that scammers are actively trying to dupe you from receiving your holiday packages in the mail. Scammers send text messages pretending to be delivery drivers or companies, asking for personal information or payment for delivery fees. The messages may claim that a package cannot be delivered due to incomplete address information or request confirmation of delivery details. Preventative tips include tracking deliveries and know what and when to expect items. Anthony Moore with MissouriNet.
More than 208,000 electric vehicles, or EVs, are being recalled by Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis. The vehicles are being recalled due to a potential loss of power that could lead to a crash. And Fort Leonard Wood is scheduled to host its traditional Thanksgiving Day celebration Thursday. This is MissouriNet.
Hello, this is Cheyenne, the Treasury Management Specialist at Sullivan Bank. Our goal in the Treasury Management Department is to give your business a step up in business banking. We are committed to visiting your place of business to set up your products and provide training to your team. If you aren't sure what services could benefit you, we will walk you through our products and go over which ones make the most sense for your needs. We want you to focus on growing your business with the peace of mind that we will be there when you need us. Call us today to experience a step up in business service.
If you or a loved one are a Medicaid or MoHealthNet participant, don't wait for the care that you need. Whether you need to see a primary care doctor, dentist, or mental health professional, Compass Health Network is here to serve you. We specialize in making sure that our clients get the expert care they deserve as quickly as possible. Don't put your health on hold any longer. Call 844-853-8937 to schedule an appointment today. Compass Health Network, because you matter.
Traffic in Sullivan was slowed on eastbound I-44 yesterday afternoon after a fatal hit-and-run took the life of a pedestrian. The Missouri State Highway Patrol said the victim had been standing outside a 1999 Ford F-250 and a 2006 Chevrolet HHR. The HHR had been sitting there for several days. Both vehicles were parked on the shoulder. A tractor-trailer veered off the right side of the roadway. The front right corner of the tractor-trailer struck the pedestrian and sideswiped both parked vehicles before fleeing the scene. The truck left the scene of the accident, according to police. Emergency responders from Missouri Baptist EMS pronounced the man deceased around 1:44 p.m. The identity of the tractor-trailer driver remains unknown as authorities continue to search for the vehicle involved in the fatal collision. The tractor-trailer has a maroon cab with Ego in blue and black outline on the trailer, according to a social media post from the Highway Patrol Troop C. The front passenger side of the cab is damaged. Call the Highway Patrol at 636-300-2800 with any information. A man died in a two-vehicle accident in Camden County yesterday afternoon. The Missouri State Highway Patrol said the crash happened around 4 p.m. on Route F near Rockdale Drive. A 2014 Dodge Journey crossed the center of the road after exiting a curve and hit a 2010 Chrysler Town & Country head-on. The driver of the Journey, a 37-year-old man from Sunrise Beach, was pronounced at the scene by the Camden County Medical Examiner. A 12-year-old girl in the Chrysler was taken to Lake Regional Hospital by Lake West EMS with serious injuries. The driver of the Chrysler had moderate injuries. A 14-year-old girl in the van had minor injuries. They were transported to Lake Regional Hospital by Lake West EMS. Police in St. Louis say a man was shot and killed in the Princeton Heights neighborhood of South City last night. The shooting happened around 8:45 p.m. on Bonita Avenue near the intersection with Kings Highway. No other information was known at this time. A 14-year-old suspect accidentally shot his 16-year-old accomplice as they tried to carjack a man in North City yesterday afternoon. Police say the incident happened near the intersection of Garrison and Bailey, which is a few blocks east of Fairground Park. The 16-year-old victim is in stable condition at a local hospital. The 14-year-old was taken into custody. Police say the carjacking victim was not injured. And a man was critically injured yesterday morning in a shooting in the city of St. Louis. Police say the man was shot at West Florissant and Thrush around 10:30 a.m. No other information was immediately available. 57-year-old John Matthew Berry has been charged with the robbery of a Commerce Bank branch near I-44 and Highway 109 in Eureka on Saturday morning. Police allege Berry, wearing a mask, walked into the bank just before noon and demanded money, then walked out with $2,000. Surveillance video showed him walking to a nearby neighborhood, and doorbell camera recorded the suspect getting into a white pickup and driving away. Police say he took steps to avoid being identified by license plate reader cameras. A detective in the St. Louis Police Department's Real-Time Crime Center saw a report about the robbery and took it upon herself to search for video of a white pickup on video recorded by the large number of cameras that feed into the center. The detective was able to find video of the suspect's white pickup before the license plates were removed, allowing detectives to look up the owner of the vehicle. Detectives arrested Berry on Sunday at his home on South Broadway in St. Louis. He confessed to the crime. When detectives searched Berry's home, they found stolen jewelry taken during a burglary at Robert Hunn Jewelers on Manchester Road in Ellisville. All of the stolen jewelry was recovered. Berry has also been charged with second-degree burglary and felony theft, as well as property damage for the jewelry store break-in. Bond was set at $100,000 for Berry in the robbery case and $75,000 cash only in the burglary case. At the time of the crimes, Berry was on parole after serving time on previous burglary charges. The Missouri State Highway Patrol reported an accident in Franklin County at 3:15 p.m. yesterday on Beaker Road east of Weber Road. A 19-year-old male from Marthasville was riding a 2017 Honda CBR 300, failed to negotiate a curve to the left and overturn. The motorcycle went off the right side of the roadway and struck a concrete drainage ditch and then a utility pole. The 19-year-old rider had moderate injuries. He was taken by Washington EMS to Mercy Hospital in Washington. The Highway Patrol made an arrest in Franklin County at 9:54 last night. 43-year-old Greg M. Coleman of Villa Ridge, arrested on a patrol charge of DWI. He was taken to the Franklin County Adult Detention Facility and then released. At 1:19 p.m. yesterday in Franklin County, 55-year-old James V. Davis of Union, arrested on probation and parole, resisting, interfere with arrest, and possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. He was taken to the Franklin County Adult Detention Facility and held without bond. At 11:17 a.m. yesterday in Franklin County, 48-year-old Christopher R. Brown of Wentzville, arrested for Franklin County failure to appear for speeding. He was taken to the Franklin County Adult Detention Facility and was bondable. On Tuesday, the 19th of this month, Phelps County deputies responded to the 15,000 block of state route for a report of stealing. Deputies discovered that a 51-year-old male from St. James was the reported victim. He reported that a heater condenser was taken, As a result of the call, 60-year-old Ronald E. Faulkner of St. James and 51-year-old Kathy S. Kiblinger of Rolla were arrested on charges of stealing and trespassing first degree. Faulkner and Kiblinger were incarcerated at the Phelps County Jail, later released pending warrant application. That same day, Phelps County deputies responded to the Crawford County line. They arrested 19-year-old Corey L. Counts of Cuba on a Phelps County warrant, charging him with stealing $750 or more. He was incarcerated at the Phelps County Jail, where he remains. The Sullivan Schools Board of Education will be meeting in regular session at 5:30 this evening in the Administrative Building Boardroom at 138 Taylor Street in Sullivan. And your Franklin County Clerk, Tim Baker, wants you to know that the Franklin County Government Center, Judicial Center, Historic Courthouse, the Health Department, and the County Highway Department will all be closed this Thursday and Friday in observance of the Thanksgiving Day holiday. The Franklin County Sheriff's Department remains open as they are 24 hours a day, each and every day. And the Missouri State Highway Patrol would like to remind you that driver examination stations throughout the state will be closed on Thursday in observance of Thanksgiving. That is a look at your local news on a Tuesday. I'm Sam Scott.
For the last couple years, my company, Level 9 Heating and Cooling, has been telling you that when it comes to your HVAC system, you've got a guy. I want you to know that in this area, I'm that guy. My name is Ben Pence, and I'm the Level 9 Sales Manager. Level 9 is committed to making sure your heating and cooling system runs at peak efficiency, both to save you money on your monthly bills and to extend the life of your system. I also want to let you know that we now offer plumbing services with a master plumber and a journeyman plumber licensed in St. Louis County, and the surrounding areas. I'm also excited to offer the preventive maintenance program for just $25 a month. We come and check your plumbing each year and your HVAC system in the spring and the fall. Preventative maintenance members also get discounts on parts and services. Level 9 Heating and Cooling is a proud premier Lennox dealer, but we service all brands. You can contact me at 636-239-3581. Remember that when it comes to heating, cooling, and now plumbing, I'm your guy.
In recent funeral notices, Bonita Louise Bonnie Turner of Gerald passed away Monday, November 18th at the age of 80. Her body was cremated. Her cremains will be interred at Jefferson Barracks, where her husband's ashes are buried. A memorial service will be held at 11 o'clock this morning at the Gottenstrader Funeral Home in Owensville. Visitation will be from 9 to 11 this morning. The complete funeral announcements with all the survivors will air with our 8 o'clock expanded edition of KTUI News this morning.
Your 401k is likely one of your most important assets, but it's only one part of a comprehensive retirement strategy. Edward Jones can help you understand how your retirement assets fit into your entire retirement picture so you can work toward meeting your unique retirement goals. Contact me, Donnie Greenwald, your Sullivan Edward Jones financial advisor, at number 10 First Community Plaza in Sullivan. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
New Testament Baptist Church in Sullivan is starting a new addiction recovery ministry called Life Issues. It's a biblical approach to the 12 steps, bringing scriptural principles into personal focus and making them come alive for transformational living. Whether you struggle with addictions, food, depression, anxiety, or relationships, you'll be encouraged to see how others have found a new way of life with hope for the future through this program. Life Issues will meet weekly on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. at New Testament Baptist Church. You're not alone. To find out more, contact New Testament Baptist Church at 573-468-3334.
And it is 20 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock here on this Tuesday morning. I'm Sam Scott. Glad to have you along. And we're going to have increasing cloudiness today, high near 49. Mostly cloudy tonight, low around 36. Cloudy tomorrow, 40% chance of rain, mainly after 4 p.m., high near 49. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night, 40% chance of rain before midnight, low around 30. Mostly sunny on Thanksgiving Day, high near 40. Mostly clear Thursday night, low around 21. And then sunny on Friday with a high near 36. Right now at the studios of KTUI, 27 degrees. And Sullivan Regional Airport showing 25 degrees. Coming up at 8:30 this morning, I'm scheduled to talk with Dan Zarlinga with Missouri Department of Conservation. I sent him an email message and says he's out of the office, so we'll see how that goes. Becky Jones is supposed to be here at 9:10 this morning, and she is the assistant superintendent at the Sullivan School District. Birthdays that I have today, Linda Weatherly and Shannon Johanning. So happy birthday to the two of them. All right, it is 21 minutes now past the hour of 7 o'clock. Bobby D's got sports for you here on KTUI. Stay tuned.
Looking at sports on this Tuesday from the Sullivan Bank studios of KTUI Radio, this is Bobby D. The Blues opened the Jim Montgomery era with a big win on the road over the Rangers last night. Here's Alex Ferrario with the game recap.
Last night, the Blues started the Montgomery era with a matchup against the New York Rangers. With new head coach Jim Montgomery, the Blues would find themselves down by a goal midway through the first period, but a Blues first period that outshot the Rangers 15-14, and they were rewarded with a Jordan Kyrou goal in the slot with a nice pass by Braden Shen. So 1-1 tie going into the second period. That opened up less than 5 minutes in as Zach Bolduc picked up his first goal of the year. A net front presence for Zach Bolduc to give the Blues the 2-1 lead. Will Cawley would score his second of the game with a turnover by the Blues in the defensive zone that led to a backdoor tap-in. But in the third period, where the Blues were in the last 9 games outscored 14-2. They scored a goal 72 seconds into the third period. Braden Shen with an odd man rush. Then Zach Bolduc would score one 7 minutes later, and Pavel Buchnevich with the empty net goal to beat the Rangers 5-2. So 1-0 under Jim Montgomery, 10-12-1 on the season, as the Blues next up will take on the Devils. Puck drop at 6, pregame at 5:30 on Wednesday on the St. Louis Blues Radio Network.
Thank you, Alex, and we'll have that Blues game on 102.1 KTUI FM. Alabama and Ole Miss tumbled out of the top 10 of the AP Top 25 poll on Sunday. Miami and SMU moved in following a chaotic weekend in the SEC and across college football in general. Oregon is number 1 for the 6th straight week, with Ohio State, Texas, and Penn State holding places behind the Ducks. The shuffling up top begins at number 5, where Notre Dame returned for the first time since week 2 after beating Army for its 9th straight win. Georgia moved up 2 spots, number 6. Tennessee is 7. Miami is number 8. SMU jumped in at number 9. Indiana dropped from number 5 to number 10 following its first loss to Ohio State. The Southeastern Conference's hopes of landing 4 spots in the college football playoff took a big hit, with 2 of their teams losing as double-digit favorites. Texas, Georgia, and Tennessee are the only SEC teams with fewer than 3 losses after Alabama's loss at Oklahoma and Ole Miss's defeat at Florida. Alabama and Ole Miss each dropped 6 spots in the AP poll, with the Crimson Tide at number 13 and Ole Miss at number 15. Texas A&M was the 3rd SEC team to lose in overtime at Auburn. The Aggies tumbled 5 places, number 20. Missouri, meanwhile, returned to the poll after a week absence following its 39-20 win at Mississippi State. College scoreboard from last night. Women's basketball at the Emerald Coast Classic down in Florida. Syracuse used a big second quarter advantage to beat Missouri 82-59. Grace Slaughter led the Tigers with 13, Lania Randall with 9. It was Evangel getting a shot late in the game to beat Williams Baptist 86-85. Emily Recker from St. James had 2 points and a rebound with a little over 3 minutes of playing time in the game for Evangel. In men's basketball, Isaiah Swope tied his career high of 30 points. Kalu Anya posted a double-double, 12 points and 18 rebounds. St. Louis University improved to 3-2 with an 81-67 win over Quinnipiac on Monday night at Chaifetz Arena. Gibson Jimerson had 16, passing Erwin Claggett for second place on SLU's career list. Robbie Avila returned to the lineup following a 3-game injury absence and contributed 14 points and 6 rebounds. Missouri State overcame an 11-point second-half deficit, forcing overtime Monday against Boston College, but an Eagles three-pointer with 4.1 seconds left in extra time sealed a 76-74 Eagles win over the Bears in the Cayman Islands Classic semifinals. Des White scored a game-high 25 for the Bears. Jalen Hampton added 15 and 10 rebounds for his second double-double of the season. The college schedule for today: Missouri will take on Wichita State at the Emerald Coast Classic at 5:15. St. Louis University women will be taking on California Baptist at the Acrisure Holiday Classic at 8 o'clock. Other games: William Penn at Culver Stockton, Principi at Font Bonner 5:30 starts. Truman State will play Newman at the Drury Thanksgiving Classic at 1 o'clock today. UMSL is at Purdue Northwest at 4. Westminster at Webster at 5:30. On the men's side, the Cayman Islands Classic, Missouri State plays South Dakota State at 4 o'clock. William Penn will be at Culver Stockton at 7:30. Neosho County Community College at Southwestern Iowa Community College at 7. St. Louis Community College at John Wood at 7 o'clock. Westminster at Webster for men's action at 7:30. And in women's wrestling, Missouri Valley at Grandview for a dual meet at 6 o'clock tonight. Former Sullivan Lady Eagle Mallory Shetley led the Columbia College Cougars to a 2-0 record last week and was named the AMC Offensive Player of the Week. Mallory had 32 points in a win over Mission University, averaging 21 points a game. She also had 4 blocks and 12 rebounds on the week. And if you are a student that will be attending East Central College starting in the winter semester in January, the East Central College Falcons softball team is having walk-on tryouts January 13th through 15th at 3:30 till 6:30 each evening at the East Central College softball field. If you're interested and would like to attend or need more information, contact grant.young@eastcentral.edu for more information. Congratulations to St. James High School senior guard Lydia Kimnitzer as she has signed her letter of intent to play basketball at Mineral Area College next season. From the scoreboard last night, St. James Lady Tigers defeated Bunker 52-43 in a varsity-only matchup. It was the Bourbon Ladies defeating Rolla Homeschool 64-26. Lynn down New Haven 39-28 in varsity. They played 2 quarters of JV with Lynn on top 19-10. Festus picked up a win over St. Clair, 64-50 in varsity, 56-12 in JV. Father Tolton edging Herman 62-60 in overtime in the varsity game last night. Tolton also won the JV contest 57-25. The only boys game on last night's schedule, Bell picked up a couple of wins at Lynn, 53-36 in varsity, 47-33 in JV. Middle school boys basketball from last night, South Callaway over New Haven, 59-45 in the 8th grade, 39-18 in the 7th grade game. Checking out the schedule of games for tonight in girls basketball, Sullivan Lady Eagles start their season at home taking on St. Dominic. They'll have freshman, JV, and varsity at 4 o'clock for the freshman game. We'll broadcast that varsity game tonight. Bell will be at Fulton, JV and varsity at 6. Cuba with Viburnum at St. Elizabeth, JV and varsity at 6. Washington at Pacific. They'll play 1/2 JV starting at 5:30, followed by the varsity, and the varsity game should get underway around 6:15 or so. Steelville at Dixon will be varsity girls, followed by varsity boys, with the girls starting at 5 o'clock. Boys basketball tonight, the St. Francis Borgia Thanksgiving tournament gets underway. First round games tonight. It'll be number 2 seed Confluence Prep taking on number 7 Union at 6 o'clock, followed by number 3 Jackson and number 6 Owensville. 6 o'clock game on Wednesday is top seed Principia against Pacific, followed by Borgia and Washington at around 7:30. Other games tonight, Wright City will be at Herman, JV then varsity starting at 6. At that game tonight, the Herman High School Student Council is sponsoring an Alzheimer's Awareness Night. They'll be doing a 50-50 raffle with the winner drawn at halftime of the varsity game. All funds raised will be donated to the Cure for Alzheimer's Foundation. New Haven is at Bell tonight at 6 o'clock, Bourbon at Valley at 5:30, Steelville at Dixon, again that's varsity girls, then varsity boys. Boys should start around 6:30. Washington will be at Pacific for a freshman game at 4:15 this afternoon. In middle school boys basketball tonight, Owensville will be at New Haven at 6 o'clock, Steelville at West County at 5:30. High school wrestling, Owensville hosting a girls tournament tonight. Sullivan, Union, and Borgia will be among the local teams that are participating at Owensville. And in middle school wrestling, they're off until after the holidays. Sports on the air, we have high school basketball, our opening game of the season. Sullivan hosting St. Dominic. The freshman game will start at 4 o'clock, followed by JV, and we'll broadcast the varsity game pregame sometime around 7 o'clock tonight on 102.1 KTUI FM. That's your look at sports on this Tuesday from the Sullivan Bank Studios of KTUI Radio. Have a great day, everybody. This is Bobby D.
New Testament Baptist Church in Sullivan is starting a new addiction recovery ministry called Life Issues. It's a biblical approach to the 12 steps, bringing scriptural principles into personal focus and making them come alive for transformational living. Whether you struggle with addictions, food, depression, anxiety, or relationships, you'll be encouraged to see how others have found a new way of life with hope for the future through this program. Life Issues will meet weekly on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. at New Testament Baptist Church. You're not alone. To find out more, contact New Testament Baptist Church at 573-468-3334.
At Seidenstricker Nobe, we're here to keep your equipment running strong. Right now, our winter service packages come with free pickup and delivery on all John Deere 1 through 5 series tractors, gators, and mowers. Let our certified technicians get your equipment prepped and ready for spring. Book your service today and enjoy worry-free maintenance with free pickup and delivery only for a limited time. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 12/31/2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
29 minutes in front of 8 o'clock here at the studios of KTUI. We're back up to 29 degrees. We dropped off to 28 there for a bit. Sullivan Regional Airport still showing 25 degrees. Bobby D along with me this morning. And Bob, Dan, we changed, and Dan Zarlinga is normally on a Thursday, but, since it's Thanksgiving, we changed it to Tuesday. I sent him an email this morning, and I got an out-of-office reply, so I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll see.
Yeah.
That'll be about 8:30. Becky Jones is scheduled to be in here. She's the Sullivan Assistant Superintendent. That's at 9:10 this morning. Linda Weatherly has a birthday today. I graduated with Linda, so I guess about how old she is. I'm not going to say, though. And,
Smart man.
Then Shannon Johanning, he was a year behind me in school, so I'm going to say he's 60. So you may be able to extrapolate.
If you really want to,
Yeah,
you can
right.
kind of figure out how old it is. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Well, some people may have thought there was a celebrity in the building at Southern New Hampshire University's graduation on Saturday. That's an actual. You see it on TV.
SNHU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an actual. It is. It's
Okay.
a really. And they have a campus.
Okay.
It is, yeah. Annette Roberge certainly felt like one as she crossed the stage to get her diploma at the age of 90.
All right.
I'm still on cloud nine, she said. I can't even put it into words. It was exhilarating. It was awesome. It was beyond anything I could have possibly imagined. This degree has been decades in the making for the mother of 5, grandmother of 12, and great-grandmother of 15. She began taking classes at New Hampshire College, which is now SNHU, in 1972, 1 year after her husband of 20 years was killed in Vietnam. She completed several night and weekend courses before that took a backseat to her 5 kids and 2 jobs. She worked as an insurance agent while she finished up as a lunch lady at a nearby school. She retired at age 75, but she was a woman who loved learning, and she knew something was missing from her life. If I start something, I have to finish it, she said. But it wasn't until recently that her daughter began poking around and learned that her mom had earned enough credits for an associate's degree in business administration. Barring some health challenges, Roberge finally walked across the stage on Saturday to the roaring cheers from her fellow graduates and a standing ovation from the crowd. Never give up on learning because what you learn can never be taken away from you, she said. It matters so much for the example it sets about what we do for ourselves to keep learning and stretching and growing. That comment from SNHU President Lisa Marsh, don't ever give up on a dream, she said. Roberge even had a parting message for all of her new fellow graduates. If you've got a dream, don't let it just sit there. Do something. Make it work. Don't ever give up on a dream. Now, if you thought that Roberge would be satisfied with her associate's degree, you would be wrong. She plans to start working toward her bachelor's degree in January at the age of 90.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you probably heard this on the news this morning, but Walmart has confirmed that it will be curbing some of its diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, otherwise known as DEI. The country's largest retailer said it will no longer use the acronym DEI in company communications, and it will wind down the Center for Racial Equity nonprofit that it established in 2020. Walmart also said it will no longer require racial equity training for staff and will no longer participate in the annual Human Rights Campaign rankings. The company follows Ford, Lowe's, Boeing, and Harley-Davidson in scaling back corporate diversity initiatives following pressure from an activist. Now, to go along with that, I had a story here that a new study has found that diversity, equity, and inclusion materials have a wide range of negative consequences. You think?
Yeah.
Including psychological harm, increased hostility, and greater agreement with extreme authoritarian rhetoric, such as adapted Adolf Hitler quotes.
Oh, boy.
Both the New York Times and Bloomberg prepared stories on the findings, but axed them just before publication, citing editorial decisions. The network Contagion Research Institute, or NCRI, and Rutgers University Social Perception Lab released the study Instructing Animosity, How DEI Pedagogy Produces the Hostile Attribution Bias. Yeah.
A lot of fancy words there.
They released that yesterday. The study examined whether the themes and materials common in DEI trainings foster inclusion or exacerbate conflicts, and whether such materials promote empathy or increase hostility towards groups labeled as oppressors. The study consisted of 3 experiments, one focusing on race, one on religion, and the last on caste. Somebody named Michelle Tofoyo said both the NY Times and the Bloomberg both prepared stories on findings, but axed them just before publication. I wonder why.
Yeah. Nothing new for those two.
Yeah.
For those sort of topics. For those who are prolific readers, many may know this name, Barbara Taylor Bradford, a British journalist who became a publishing sensation in her 40s with the saga A Woman of Substance. She wrote more than a dozen other novels that sold tens of millions of copies, passed away on Sunday, had her home in New York City at the age of 91. Starting with A Woman of Substance, published in 1979, Bradford averaged nearly a book a year as one of the world's most popular and wealthiest writers. Her net worth estimated at more than $200 million, and her fame so high that her image appeared on a postage stamp in 1999. In 2007, Queen Elizabeth II awarded her an Obie, the most excellent order of the British Empire. Her books were published in 40 languages and sold more than 90 million copies around the world. With titles like Breaking the Rules and Act of Will, she specialized in stories of women fighting for love and power in a man's world. Her favorite among her books was The Woman in His Life, inspired by her husband's escape from the Nazis. Bradford was married for 56 years to German-born film producer Robert Bradford, who died in 2019. She got her start as a teenager, publishing for local magazines, started writing later in life, and then went on to big success. But Barbara Taylor Bradford died at the age of 91.
Well, let's see. According to CBS, Special Counsel Jack Smith asked a federal district court in Washington yesterday to dismiss the case against President-elect Donald Trump, stemming from an alleged scheme to subvert the transfer of power after the 2020 election, bringing to close the historic and unprecedented prosecution of the nation's 45th and 47th president. In newly filed court documents, federal prosecutors working in Smith's office told U.S. District Judge Tanya Chutkin that they are seeking to close Trump's case because Justice Department policy forbids the prosecution of a sitting president. Greg Price says Jack Smith just filed a motion to dismiss his bogus charges against President Trump. Total Democrat lawfare fail. RNC Research says Democrat Representative Dan Goldman immediately went on CNN to cry about the special counsel moving to dismiss all charges against President Trump and the Biden-Harris administration witch hunt.
Now, they did ask to dismiss without prejudice, which means they can bring up the charges at a later time.
Yes.
After he's done with this term. So, it's not, maybe not completely over, but it is for a while.
I kind of think, I mean, I don't know, but I kind of think that people will be tired of it. I think people are tired of it now.
Oh, they've been tired of it for a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been.
Yeah.
Did you or your kids play the Oregon Trail computer game?
No.
Okay. Well,
not that I know of.
Okay. Well, the Oregon Trail, which is one of the most successful computer games of all time and a staple for children of the 80s and 90s, is currently being developed into a movie project. Okay? Mm-hmm. Bill Heineman says it's hard to find someone these days who hasn't heard of the Oregon Trail. The computer game he co-created in 1971 at Carleton College in Northfield has sold tens of millions of copies and is in the World Video Game Hall of Fame. It's surprising and gratifying and humbling in a way that a little thing that I spent 2 weeks on has become a worldwide phenomenon, Heineman said. The idea sprouted when his friend Don Rossich came up with a board game for students he was teaching that simulated 1800 settlers going west on the Oregon Trail. Since computers were in their very early days, and even though Heineman says he'd only seen Pac-Man, he sensed an opportunity. I said, that'll be a great application for a computer because you wouldn't have to shake the dice to see what happens. What happens could come up and be unexpected. The game's become known for the many ways that players can die, including by dysentery, but Heineman's favorite was death by snakebite.
Oh, boy.
It only happened once every several hundred times, so people could have played it for months, and all of a sudden, what? I got bit by a snake and died? This has never happened to me before. Now, more than 50 years after the first Oregon Trail program, Apple is reportedly developing the game into an action comedy movie. Surprising to me how popular it has become and how long the interest in it has been around, he said. This is just the next step, I guess. But he won't be making any money off the movie. In fact, he's never seen a dime from the iconic game. He and his two co-creators, Rawich and Paul Dillenberger, turned the game over to the Minnesota Educational Computing Consortium shortly after they invented it. He says, it doesn't bother him. I didn't do it for the money. I did it for the love of the game and the love of teaching. Heineman spent most of his career working in software. He says he enjoys it when people tell him how much they love the game. So there you go.
Well, the vice president has spent much of the past week in Hawaii after losing the presidential election, possibly laying the groundwork for a political comeback.
Yeah,
Harris,
good luck with that.
yeah, Harris has told allies and friends that she is, quote, staying in the fight and is keeping open the possibility of running for governor of California in 2026 or president in 2028. The outgoing vice president is set to use the Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday season to decide on her next steps, beginning with her escape from Washington, D.C. to the Aloha State this past week. The report also claims that she'll speak out against President-elect Donald Trump, who defeated her in all 7 swing states in the election less than 3 weeks ago, and reaffirm herself as the Democratic Party's leader. Harris will still have 2 public events before she leaves the Naval Observatory on January 20th. She will oversee the joint session of Congress on January 6th, which will affirm her loss to Trump, along with her departure from the vice presidency on January 20th. That was the Washington Examiner. Politico says the good news for Harris, according to her allies that are standing in the party, increased the longer she ran her short campaign, which is rare in electoral politics. Her allies believe that the toxicity that surrounded John Kerry or Hillary Clinton after their losses is unlikely to taint Harris's political future in the same way. I don't know. My thoughts, and I could very well be wrong, but I don't think, I think part of the reason that she lost the election was because she really showed no substance.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's likely to increase.
How is she going to change that?
Well, that's what I'm asking, is I don't think people saw her as a leader, and I don't think you either have that quality or you don't. And I don't think she does. And so I'm thinking that they're going to look for somebody who's a little more.
Well, I would think so. There have been several polls out that that have her among the top contenders for running for president in 28. And I think that the 28 election for the Democrats is going to be a lot like the 2020 where they had all kinds of candidates.
Yeah.
And wound up picking the old white guy. I don't know that that'll happen again. For them, it probably better not happen. But I think it's going to be a pretty crowded field. When it comes around in 2020, well, probably starting about 2026, but because you'll see some of these people that are governors that are purported to be in the running, that are up for election in 2026. If some of them lose, well, then they're going to run for president. If some of them win, they may be less likely. So we'll kind of wait and see how that pans out.
So the vice president's campaign directed nearly $600 million to just 4 media consulting firms with deep ties to the Democratic establishment. The Federal Election Commission, or FEC, records show the latest available FEC data shows that the Harris campaign exceeded $880 million in total spending as of October 16th, though that number is expected to balloon to $1.5 billion after the Harris campaign files its post-election FEC report on December 5th. 70% of the campaign's known total spending flowed through 4 firms: Media Buying and Analytics, Gambit Strategies, Bully Pulpit Interactive, and DuPont Circle Strategies. Together, these 4 Democratic firms were largely responsible for distributing Harris's campaign messages across the nation, an effort that ultimately saw Harris lose all 7 swing states.
I don't think I'd use those same firms if she runs again.
But well,
of course, they didn't have as much to work with.
It's not their fault. It was her.
Yeah, they didn't have much to work with, in all honesty. But I saw something this morning. Was looking through. She's staying in like a $1,200 or $1,300 a night suite out in Hawaii with her campaign. Now, I don't know. This probably shouldn't be paid for out of campaign funds because she's no longer running. So this probably should be coming out of her own pocket. But, with her campaign $20 million in debt, that's not a good look, I wouldn't think.
Well.
But anyway, not that she cares.
Yeah,
no. All right, well, while you're getting your ads out there, I'll let you know that a Florida man is in jail for impersonating billionaire Elon Musk to scam a 74-year-old woman out of over $600,000.
I think we could have that headline every day, Florida man.
I think there are usually several of those.
Florida man.
Yeah, Florida man, or Florida woman. That happens a lot, too.
Yeah.
Jeffrey Moynihan Jr., who's 56, befriended the woman on Facebook in 2023, messaging her daily and convincing her to invest in fake business ventures with the promises of a $55 million return. Authorities in Frisco, Florida, alerted police in Bradenton, about 45 miles south of Tampa, after discovering the scheme. Investigators found she had sent $250,000 to accounts tied to Moynihan's painting business, believed they were linked to Musk. But officials say her husband has confirmed the total loss has reached neighborhood of $600,000.
Wow.
Again, there's the advice to the elderly, well, to anybody, but particularly the elderly. Be careful when somebody contacts you, tries to set up a relationship on Facebook or something where you don't talk face to face with them. Just watch out for these. If it's too good to be true, it probably is.
Well, I heard on the news this morning that the scammers are telling you that one of your shipments has been held up because of some reason or another.
Yeah, that's it.
And I got a couple of those emails last week, and I actually was waiting for a shipment, and it came, and there was no problems with it.
Yeah, we get some of those too. Most of the time it goes to our spam or junk, but be careful.
So SBI Insure can help you with all of your insurance needs, personal, business, and life. Ken can package your home, and that's whether you own, rent, make payments, you got a condo. Ken Scott can put that all with your autos, your boats, your motorcycles, all in an umbrella for additional discounts. He represents several companies rated A and A+ by AM Best, priced competitively on youthful drivers, education discounts, folks in the prime of life discounts, new roof discounts, paid in full discounts, and claims-free discounts. Life happens. Let SBI Insure help you with all of your insurance needs. Now, Ken can work with you if you're a business owner with property, liability, autos, equipment, and workers' comp. This is Ken's cell phone number, 314-623-2093. 314-623-2093. And Bobby, my brother-in-law is in town, right? And,
Yeah, he's
okay.
here.
Grew up. Yeah, he's here.
Yeah.
But he, grew up near Kansas City.
Yeah.
Which is, one of the barbecue capitals
of the country.
And he lives in Texas.
Again,
where,
big in barbecue.
Big in barbecue.
Right.
Where do you think I took him yesterday?
Let's see. Would that be MKBBQ?
I did, so I wanted to get his professional opinion. He's also a referee and for football and things like that down in Texas. So I wanted to get his unbiased opinion on
And so, what was his unbiased opinion on?
Well, as we were leaving, he told him that he'd be back before he left.
Okay, well that's pretty high standing there.
MKBBQ in downtown Sullivan. They're an authentic wood-fired Texas-style barbecue with an Ozark profile. They're located at 202 North Clark Street, and you can find their daily specials on Facebook. They're open from 11 to 7 Wednesday through Saturdays. On Mondays, they're closed on Tuesday and Sunday, so you can dine in or carry out. You can place your orders through Facebook Messenger or text 573-210-3281. They proudly serve Bad Adams and Blues Hog sauces. MKBBQ, sophisticatedly primal. And the other thing is, it's the holiday season, of course. Yep. People know that. And if you are looking for something to give to your significant other or, pretty much anybody in your family or whatever, then go down to Wilcox Jewelers.
Great place.
They're located at 130 West Main in downtown Sullivan. And they wanted you to know that, that now they have lab-grown diamonds available in addition to naturally mined diamonds. And, I was talking to Marlis, and she said that, some of the younger people are concerned about the environment and things like that. And she said these lab-grown diamonds are almost indistinguishable from naturally mined diamonds. But they have those too. So whatever you're looking for. They also have many engagement ring styles to choose from in white, yellow, and rose gold. So stop by Wilcox Jewelers, 130 West Main in downtown Sullivan. They've been here for 47 years or something.
Since 1947.
Since 1947, that's it.
77 years now.
Yeah, I think they might be the oldest family-owned business here in town.
I'm sure they rank right up there if they're not, but have been there for a long time. And hey, and another thing, like this time of year, well, any time of year really, but jewelry appraisal.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got some jewelry that you've had for a long time, well, if it's the real gold and diamonds, all that's gone up. And for insurance purposes, it's a good idea to have a current appraisal on your jewelry. So, they'll gladly do that and work with your insurance company to get that all straightened out. So
you ever watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade?
We used to just watch it. I mean, it was a tradition.
Yeah. Yep.
Not so much anymore.
I think I watched it. I think I watched it last year, at least most of it, I think. But after airing the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade for 70 years, NBC is negotiating a new deal with the retailer that would see its annual fee more than triple. So I just thought the Macy's Day Parade happened and NBC broadcast.
Yeah.
Apparently,
paid for it, yeah.
Apparently,
they charge Macy's.
Yeah, so it's going to triple to over $60 million.
Whoa!
Oh yeah, that's according to the Wall Street Journal, citing
anonymous sources.
Yes. The increases reflect the value of live broadcasts such as sports and awards shows as audiences shift to streaming. The parade generates substantial ad revenue for NBC and leads into the popular National Dog Show. Macy's, which just delayed its earnings after an employee hit millions of dollars in expenses, is being represented by the talent agency WME.
Okay,
yeah.
Whoever they are.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, some sad news here. At least 16 people are missing after an Egyptian yacht carrying international tourists sank in the Red Sea on Monday. 44 people, including 13 crew members and 31 tourists, were aboard the Sea Story when it sank near Marsa Alam, a resort town in southeastern Egypt. The ship was carrying tourists for a multi-day diving trip. Wasn't surprised it wasn't named the SS Minnow. The Egyptian media outlet Al Dastor reported that 2 American tourists were on board, but it's unclear if they were among those that were missing. Authorities were alerted to the incident about 5:30 a.m. Monday. Immediately, authorities informed the naval base and the armed forces, where search and rescue teams began operations using a helicopter and a marine unit moving from Bernice Harbor toward the rescue site. The Egyptian Control Center and Operations Room continue to coordinate and follow up around the clock to ensure all necessary actions are being taken. The situation is reassured. The search is ongoing, and the number of deaths have not been officially announced. Officials from Egypt reported that 28 people have been rescued. Among that group, minor injuries like scrapes and bruises were reported, but no victims were hospitalized. The group of missing people includes 12 foreign nationals. The ship carried citizens from the U.S., Belgium, Spain, and Germany, along with citizens of the United Kingdom, China, Finland, Ireland, Poland, Slovakia, and Switzerland. While the cause of the sinking has not been determined, officials believe that a massive wave capsized it. The vessel sank within 5 to 7 minutes. Some passengers were in their cabins, which is why they were unable to escape, said Red Sea Governor Amr Hanafi in a statement.
Well, the electric vehicle startup Rivian Automotive has snagged up to a $6.6 billion funding from the U.S. government. The U.S. Department of Energy has granted conditional approval for the loan, which is meant to help Rivian grow its production capability. The EV firm says the money will go toward a new plant in Georgia and producing more mid-sized vehicles. Rivian has burned through cash since going public 3 years ago and hasn't yet reached a profitable level of production. The new Georgia facility should help on that score, turning out up to 200,000 vehicles each year.
Wow. That's a good number.
Yeah.
Where was it? We were talking about Walmart earlier.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to pay almost $35 million to one of their former truck drivers after a California jury found the retailer had falsely accused him of workers' compensation fraud and wrongfully terminated him. A San Bernardino County jury last week I guess it was, ordered Walmart to pay driver Jesus Jesse Fonseca $25 million in punitive damages plus $9.7 million for future non-economic losses, including enjoyment of life and mental suffering. The jury found that Walmart had falsely accused him of violating its integrity policy under its statement of ethics. Attorneys for Fonseca said in a statement on Monday he worked at Walmart's Apple Valley Distribution Center in San Bernardino County for 14 years and was injured when another semi-truck slammed into his Walmart semi-truck from behind during a 2017 shift for the company. His attorneys allege in a 2019 lawsuit filed against the retailer, he filed a workers' compensation claim for his injuries and was instructed by doctors not to push, pull, or lift anything over 10 pounds, as well as to stop driving a commercial vehicle. Walmart failed to accommodate these work restrictions, the lawsuit alleges. He was placed on medical leave and was ultimately terminated, allegedly because Walmart surveilled him and discovered he'd driven a personal vehicle, according to his attorneys. Fonseca understood that he was allowed to drive personal vehicles and was only restricted from driving commercially. The evidence in the trial showed that Walmart's defamation of Jesse was part of a broader scheme to use false accusations to force injured truckers back to work prematurely, or if not, terminate them so Walmart can cut down on their workers' compensation costs.
Well, Bob, I've got a pass here to Santa's Magical Kingdom at Yogi Bear's Jellystone Park.
Let me get in, I'll answer the phone.
Admits one vehicle if you're caller number 5. Be caller number 5 at 468-5101. You get this pass to see all the lights at Santa's Magical Kingdom. It's good Mondays through Thursdays. We are AM 1560 KTUI Sullivan, 94.1 FM. You can pick us up on YouTube and Facebook. It's 8 o'clock. Time now for the news.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. America's incoming border czar is Texas-bound. Tom Homan will tour the border today, accompanied by Governor Greg Abbott. Get ready for jam-packed airports and busy roads as Americans head out for Thanksgiving.
Most holiday travelers are heading to their destinations by car, according to AAA. For those who are getting on a plane, they may be delayed by airline staffing shortages. At Charlotte Douglas International Airport in North Carolina, several hundred workers participated in a work stoppage to protest low wages. There's an ongoing shortage of air traffic controllers that's expected to last for years. FAA Administrator Mike Whitaker said last week that staff will have to slow air traffic as needed. The TSA expects to screen more than 18 million travelers at U.S. airports between today and next Monday. I'm Donna Warder.
Israeli strikes have hit Beirut's southern suburbs ahead of a meeting of Israel's security cabinet to consider a 60-day ceasefire proposal with Hezbollah in Lebanon.
The airstrikes came shortly after the Israeli military issued evacuation warnings for several buildings, saying they were linked to Hezbollah. A deal drafted by the U.S. is expected to be approved by the Israeli Security Cabinet in a meeting later.
The BBC's Hugo Beshega. Donald Trump is no longer under federal indictment in the January 6th Capitol riot case. A federal judge dismissed the criminal case accusing Mr. Trump of trying to overturn the outcome of the 2020 election. The president-elect plans to use tariffs as a weapon in the war on deadly fentanyl and illegal immigration, saying he'll impose stiff tariffs on imports from China as well as from Mexico and Canada. On Wall Street, ahead of this morning's opening bell, the Dow futures down 178 points, NASDAQ futures 53 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
The new administration has hinted at one of its boldest moves yet, America's return to the gold standard. Backing the U.S. dollar with gold would create stability in a time of rapid economic change, pushing the price of gold higher than we've seen in decades. Those who act now could be positioned to benefit the most. Premier Gold specializes in helping those with a 401k, IRA, or other types of retirement accounts utilize a little-known loophole to move some of their savings into physical gold. Today, they'd like to send you a free gold standard kit to help you decide if this process is right for you. Call 606-800-8000 to take advantage of current rollover policies. Early action on physical gold could position your portfolio for maximum growth. Call Premier Gold at 606-800-8000. Call 606-800-8000 now. Premier Gold is not a financial advisor. Please consult with your advisor before investing. Call 606-800-8000.
The Philippine president accusing his vice president of a criminal plot to have him killed.
Philippine authorities have handed a subpoena to Vice President Sara Duterte's office, inviting her to answer investigators' questions after she publicly threatened to have the president assassinated if she were killed in an unspecified plot herself. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. described her threat as a criminal plot and vows to uphold the rule of law. The police and the military immediately boosted Marcos' security. Duterte said her remarks were not a threat, but an expression of concern over her own safety. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
Supporters seeking the release of imprisoned Pakistani former Prime Minister Imran Khan have broken through a ring of shipping containers blocking off the capital. They were battling security forces earlier today, this despite a government threat to respond with gunfire. So far, 6 people have died in the violence. News and analysis at townhall.com. What is going on with egg prices?
Prices are not as high as 2 years ago. Current prices are up. Emily Metz with the American Egg Board says the egg industry sees its highest demand in November and December, but this year the prices are being affected by more than just usual demand.
Unfortunately, this has been a very challenging year for egg farmers because of highly pathogenic avian influenza, or HPAI.
Anytime the virus is found, every bird on a farm is slaughtered to limit the spread of the disease. Metz says that so far, egg shortages at grocery stores have been isolated.
Keep calm and crack on. You're going to have the eggs you need for Thanksgiving.
I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The Biden administration planning to loan $6.6 billion to Rivian Automotive to build a Georgia electric vehicle factory. The startup automaker couldn't meet its production targets and rapidly burned through cash. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Missouri Net News, I'm Anthony Morabith. New report cards show Missouri's K-12 public schools are bouncing back from the pandemic era. State Education Commissioner Carla Esslinger says after the pandemic disrupted learning, more than 86% of districts and charter schools are now meeting or exceeding expectations.
We're at that point as a state and for our teachers, our leaders, our students, our communities, that we're starting to see the fruits of our labor. We're starting to see where we are making progress.
An Independence man presumed kidnapped over the weekend has been found dead inside an abandoned car. Police say 19-year-old Preston Bell had been forced inside his car, a black Chevy Malibu, in front of his home on Saturday, and an alert was released asking for the public's help in finding him. The car was found Sunday along I-435 in Kansas City. Meanwhile, Chris Chin is staying aboard as Missouri's agriculture director. That's word from Governor-elect Mike Kehoe's transition team. This is Missouri Net.
With Missouri Medicaid, more people can get the care they...
Yeah, but I'm a single guy with a job, so Medicaid isn't for me.
Actually, it is. It's for single adults, families, workers, students, caregivers.
But I bet it's just basic coverage, right?
Medicaid covers more than you think. Doctor visits, prescriptions, dental care, and more.
Wow, I had no idea.
If you think Medicaid isn't for you, think again. Learn more at covermissouri.org.
The question always comes up at this time of year. What gift should I get the important people in my life? The answer is St. James Wine. Yes, St. James Wine. For over 50 years, family-owned and operated St. James Winery has been creating internationally and nationally awarded wines. Fun flavors from bubbly fruit Moscatos to our elegant dry reds. Delicious wine makes the perfect gift and will complement any party or get-together this holiday season. No assembly is required, and the St. James bottle impresses year after year. St. James Winery. Yum.
High heating bills have you hot under the collar? Now you can keep warm this winter, saving on your bill. The one to call on is Majeski Plumbing and Heating. Ask about the complete line of energy-efficient Rheem gas furnaces. The Rheem 90-plus gas furnace averages as high as 97% efficiency. Keep warm this winter without getting burned over high heating bills. Majeski Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling, 437-3214, Highway 28 in Owensville. Relax, it's Rheem.
Hi, this is Dale Cottrell, Chief Credit Officer at Sullivan Bank, where we are committed to being a step up in service. Our goal is to put the community back in community banking. We are incredibly grateful to be a part of the KTUI communities and strive to make them a better place for future generations. We've been here for you 129 years and plan to be here for many more. Stop by Sullivan Bank today to experience the step up in service for yourself.
Traffic in Sullivan was slowed on eastbound I-44 yesterday afternoon after a fatal hit-and-run took the life of a pedestrian. The Missouri State Highway Patrol said the victim had been standing outside a 1999 Ford F-250 and a 2006 Chevrolet HHR. The HHR had been sitting there for several days. Both vehicles were parked on the shoulder. A tractor-trailer veered off the right side of the roadway. The front right corner of the tractor-trailer struck the pedestrian and sideswiped both parked vehicles before fleeing the scene. The truck left the scene of the accident, according to police. Emergency responders from Missouri Baptist EMS pronounced the man deceased around 1:44 p.m. The identity of the tractor-trailer driver remains unknown as authorities continue to search for the vehicle involved in the fatal collision. The tractor-trailer has a maroon cab with Ego in blue and black outline on the trailer, according to a social media post from the Highway Patrol Troop C. The front passenger side of the cab is damaged. Call the Highway Patrol at 636-300-2800 with any information. A man died in a two-vehicle accident in Camden County yesterday afternoon. The Missouri State Highway Patrol said the crash happened around 4 p.m. on Route F near Rockdale Drive. A 2014 Dodge Journey crossed the center of the road after exiting a curve and hit a 2010 Chrysler Town & Country head-on. The driver of the Journey, a 37-year-old man from Sunrise Beach, was pronounced at the scene by the Camden County Medical Examiner. A 12-year-old girl in the Chrysler was taken to Lake Regional Hospital by Lake West EMS with serious injuries. The driver of the Chrysler had moderate injuries. A 14-year-old girl in the van had minor injuries. They were transported to Lake Regional Hospital by Lake West EMS. Police in St. Louis say a man was shot and killed in the Princeton Heights neighborhood of South City last night. The shooting happened around 8:45 p.m. on Bonita Avenue near the intersection with Kings Highway. No other information was known at this time. A 14-year-old suspect accidentally shot his 16-year-old accomplice as they tried to carjack a man in North City yesterday afternoon. Police say the incident happened near the intersection of Garrison and Bailey, which is a few blocks east of Fairground Park. The 16-year-old victim is in stable condition at a local hospital. The 14-year-old was taken into custody. Police say the carjacking victim was not injured. And a man was critically injured yesterday morning in a shooting in the city of St. Louis. Police say the man was shot at West Florissant and Thrush around 10:30 a.m. No other information was immediately available. 57-year-old John Matthew Berry has been charged with the robbery of a Commerce Bank branch near I-44 and Highway 109 in Eureka on Saturday morning. Police allege Berry, wearing a mask, walked into the bank just before noon and demanded money, then walked out with $2,000. Surveillance video showed him walking to a nearby neighborhood, and doorbell camera recorded the suspect getting into a white pickup and driving away. Police say he took steps to avoid being identified by license plate reader cameras. A detective in the St. Louis Police Department's Real-Time Crime Center saw a report about the robbery and took it upon herself to search for video of a white pickup on video recorded by the large number of cameras that feed into the center. The detective was able to find video of the suspect's white pickup before the license plates were removed, allowing detectives to look up the owner of the vehicle. Detectives arrested Berry on Sunday at his home on South Broadway in St. Louis. He confessed to the crime. When detectives searched Berry's home, they found stolen jewelry taken during a burglary at Robert Hunn Jewelers on Manchester Road in Ellisville. All of the stolen jewelry was recovered. Berry has also been charged with second-degree burglary and felony theft, as well as property damage for the jewelry store break-in. Bond was set at $100,000 for Berry in the robbery case and $75,000 cash only in the burglary case. At the time of the crimes, Berry was on parole after serving time on previous burglary charges. The Missouri State Highway Patrol reported an accident in Franklin County at 3:15 p.m. yesterday on Beaker Road east of Weber Road. A 19-year-old male from Marthasville was riding a 2017 Honda CBR 300, failed to negotiate a curve to the left and overturn. The motorcycle went off the right side of the roadway and struck a concrete drainage ditch and then a utility pole. The 19-year-old rider had moderate injuries. He was taken by Washington EMS to Mercy Hospital in Washington. The Highway Patrol made an arrest in Franklin County at 9:54 last night. 43-year-old Greg M. Coleman of Villa Ridge, arrested on a patrol charge of DWI. He was taken to the Franklin County Adult Detention Facility and then released. At 1:19 p.m. yesterday in Franklin County, 55-year-old James V. Davis of Union, arrested on probation and parole, resisting, interfere with arrest, and possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute. He was taken to the Franklin County Adult Detention Facility and held without bond. At 11:17 a.m. yesterday in Franklin County, 48-year-old Christopher R. Brown of Wentzville, arrested for Franklin County failure to appear for speeding. He was taken to the Franklin County Adult Detention Facility and was bondable. On Tuesday, the 19th of this month, Phelps County deputies responded to the 15,000 block of state route for a report of stealing. Deputies discovered that a 51-year-old male from St. James was the reported victim. He reported that a heater condenser was taken. As a result of the call, 60-year-old Ronald E. Faulkner of St. James and 51-year-old Kathy S. Kiblinger of Rolla were arrested on charges of stealing and trespassing first degree. Faulkner and Kiblinger were incarcerated at the Phelps County Jail, later released pending warrant application. That same day, Phelps County deputies responded to the Crawford County line. They arrested 19-year-old Corey L. Counts of Cuba on a Phelps County warrant charging him with stealing $750 or more. He was incarcerated at the Phelps County Jail where he remains. The Sullivan Schools Board of Education will be meeting in regular session at 5:30 this evening in the Administrative Building Boardroom at 138 Taylor Street in Sullivan. And your Franklin County Clerk, Tim Baker, wants you to know that the Franklin County Government Center, Judicial Center, Historic Courthouse, The Health Department and the County Highway Department will all be closed this Thursday and Friday in observance of the Thanksgiving Day holiday. The Franklin County Sheriff's Department remains open as they are 24 hours a day each and every day. And the Missouri State Highway Patrol would like to remind you that driver examination stations throughout the state will be closed on Thursday in observance of Thanksgiving. That is a look at your local news on a Tuesday. I'm Sam Scott.
Whether you love them or can't stand them, surprises are a part of life. Hi, I'm Donnie Greenwald, your Sullivan Edward Jones financial advisor, and I can help get you ready for whatever life throws at you, even the welcome surprises. As your needs change, we can change what you need to do to help you end up where you want to be. And while there is never a good time to experience unexpected costs, we can work together to help make them feel a little less unexpected. Call me at 573-468-6046 or visit edwardjones.com to get started today. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
New Testament Baptist Church in Sullivan is starting a new addiction recovery ministry called Life Issues. It's a biblical approach to the 12 steps, bringing scriptural principles into personal focus and making them come alive for transformational living. Whether you struggle with addictions, food, depression, anxiety, or relationships, you'll be encouraged to see how others have found a new way of life with hope for the future through this program. Life Issues will meet weekly on Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. at New Testament Baptist Church. You're not alone. To find out more, contact New Testament Baptist Church at 573-468-3334.
Funeral notices are brought to you by the Eaton Funeral Homes of Sullivan and Bourbon. The symbol of the Eaton name reflects consideration and competence. Also quiet, unobtrusive friendliness and service without restraint. There is never a reason to settle for less than an Eaton service, particularly because it costs no more and very often less than appearances may lead you to believe. For help in the greatest time of need, call the Eaton Funeral Homes in Sullivan or Bourbon. 468-4147, a family tradition in service since 1948. In recent funeral notices, Bonita Louise Bonnie Turner of Gerald passed away Monday, November 18th at the age of 80. Survived by her daughters Rita Martin and significant other Brian Louth of Gerald, Renee Turner and significant other Mark Harbers of Hardin, Illinois, and Tammy Robertson and husband Richard of Carbondale, Illinois. Siblings John Nicholson of West Brooklyn, Illinois, Margie McNamara of Vienna, Sarah Byrne and husband John, Lois Nicholson and Margaret Nicholson, all of LaSalle, Illinois. 8 grandchildren, 3 great-grandchildren, other relatives, many friends. Her body has been cremated. Her cremains will be interred at Jefferson Barracks, where her husband's ashes are buried. A memorial service will be held at 11 o'clock this morning at the Gottenstrader Funeral Home in Owensville. Visitation will be from 9 to 11 this morning. Funeral notices are brought to you by the Eaton Funeral Homes of Sullivan and Bourbon.
For the last couple years, my company, Level 9 Heating and Cooling, has been telling you that when it comes to your HVAC system, you've got a guy. I want you to know that in this area, I'm that guy. My name is Ben Pence, and I'm the Level 9 Sales Manager. Level 9 is committed to making sure your heating and cooling system runs at peak efficiency, both to save you money on your monthly bills and to extend the life of your system. I also want to let you know that we now offer plumbing services with a master plumber and a journeyman plumber licensed in St. Louis County, and the surrounding areas. I'm also excited to offer the preventive maintenance program for just $25 a month. We come and check your plumbing each year and your HVAC system in the spring and the fall. Preventative maintenance members also get discounts on parts and services. Level 9 Heating and Cooling is a proud premier Lennox dealer, but we service all brands. You can contact me at 636-239-3581. Remember that when it comes to heating, cooling, and now plumbing, I'm your guy.
Welcome to Compass Health Network, where your smile is our priority. If you are struggling to find dental care that accepts Medicaid, we've got you covered. From routine checkups to complex procedures, our skilled, board-certified dentists provide top-notch care with compassion. Don't wait any longer. Get the care you need today. Call 844-853-8937 to book an appointment with one of our caring dentists. Visit compasshealthnetwork.org to find a location near you.
Looking at sports on this Tuesday from the Sullivan Bank studios of KTUI Radio, this is Bobby D. The Blues opened the Jim Montgomery era with a big win on the road over the Rangers last night. Here's Alex Ferrario with the game recap.
Last night, the Blues started the Montgomery era with a matchup against the New York Rangers. With new head coach Jim Montgomery, the Blues would find themselves down by a goal midway through the first period, but a Blues first period that outshot the Rangers 15-14, and they were rewarded with a Jordan Kyrou goal in the slot with a nice pass by Braden Shen. So 1-1 tie going into the second period. That opened up less than 5 minutes in as Zach Bolduc picked up his first goal of the year. A net front presence for Zach Bolduc to give the Blues the 2-1 lead. Will Cawley would score his second of the game with a turnover by the Blues in the defensive zone that led to a backdoor tap-in. But in the third period, where the Blues were in the last 9 games outscored 14-2. They scored a goal 72 seconds into the third period. Braden Shen with an odd man rush. Then Zach Bolduc would score one 7 minutes later, and Pavel Buchnevich with the empty net goal to beat the Rangers 5-2. So 1-0 under Jim Montgomery, 10-12-1 on the season, as the Blues next up will take on the Devils. Puck drop at 6, pregame at 5:30 on Wednesday on the St. Louis Blues Radio Network.
Thank you, Alex, and we'll have that Blues game on 102.1 KTUI FM. Alabama and Ole Miss tumbled out of the top 10 of the AP Top 25 poll on Sunday. Miami and SMU moved in following a chaotic weekend in the SEC and across college football in general. Oregon is number 1 for the 6th straight week, with Ohio State, Texas, and Penn State holding places behind the Ducks. The shuffling up top begins at number 5, where Notre Dame returned for the first time since week 2 after beating Army for its 9th straight win. Georgia moved up 2 spots, number 6. Tennessee is 7. Miami is number 8. SMU jumped in at number 9. Indiana dropped from number 5 to number 10 following its first loss to Ohio State. The Southeastern Conference's hopes of landing 4 spots in the college football playoff took a big hit, with 2 of their teams losing as double-digit favorites. Texas, Georgia, and Tennessee are the only SEC teams with fewer than 3 losses after Alabama's loss at Oklahoma and Ole Miss's defeat at Florida. Alabama and Ole Miss each dropped 6 spots in the AP poll, with the Crimson Tide at number 13 and Ole Miss at number 15. Texas A&M was the 3rd SEC team to lose in overtime at Auburn. The Aggies tumbled 5 places, number 20. Missouri, meanwhile, returned to the poll after a week absence following its 39-20 win at Mississippi State. College scoreboard from last night. Women's basketball at the Emerald Coast Classic down in Florida. Syracuse used a big second quarter advantage to beat Missouri 82-59. Grace Slaughter led the Tigers with 13, Lania Randall with 9. It was Evangel getting a shot late in the game to beat Williams Baptist 86-85. Emily Recker from St. James had 2 points and a rebound with a little over 3 minutes of playing time in the game for Evangel. In men's basketball, Isaiah Swope tied his career high of 30 points. Kalu Anya posted a double-double, 12 points and 18 rebounds. St. Louis University improved to 3-2 with an 81-67 win over Quinnipiac on Monday night at Chaifetz Arena. Gibson Jimerson had 16, passing Erwin Claggett for second place on SLU's career list. Robbie Avila returned to the lineup following a 3-game injury absence and contributed 14 points and 6 rebounds. Missouri State overcame an 11-point second-half deficit, forcing overtime Monday against Boston College, but an Eagles three-pointer with 4.1 seconds left in extra time sealed a 76-74 Eagles win over the Bears in the Cayman Islands Classic semifinals. Des White scored a game-high 25 for the Bears. Jalen Hampton added 15 and 10 rebounds for his second double-double of the season. The college schedule for today: Missouri will take on Wichita State at the Emerald Coast Classic at 5:15. St. Louis University women will be taking on California Baptist at the Acrisure Holiday Classic at 8 o'clock. Other games: William Penn at Culver Stockton, Principi at Font Bonner 5:30 starts. Truman State will play Newman at the Drury Thanksgiving Classic at 1 o'clock today. UMSL is at Purdue Northwest at 4. Westminster at Webster at 5:30. On the men's side, the Cayman Islands Classic, Missouri State plays South Dakota State at 4 o'clock. William Penn will be at Culver Stockton at 7:30. Neosho County Community College at Southwestern Iowa Community College at 7. St. Louis Community College at John Wood at 7 o'clock. Westminster at Webster for men's action at 7:30. And in women's wrestling, Missouri Valley at Grandview for a dual meet at 6 o'clock tonight. Former Sullivan Lady Eagle Mallory Shetley led the Columbia College Cougars to a 2-0 record last week and was named the AMC Offensive Player of the Week. Mallory had 32 points and a win over Mission University, averaging 21 points a game. She also had 4 blocks and 12 rebounds on the week. And if you are a student that will be attending East Central College starting in the winter semester in January, the East Central College Falcons softball team is having walk-on tryouts January 13th through 15th at 3:30 till 6:30 each evening at the East Central College softball field. If you're interested and would like to attend or need more information, contact grant.young@eastcentral.edu for more information. Congratulations to St. James High School senior guard Lydia Kimnitzer as she has signed her letter of intent to play basketball at Mineral Area College next season. From the scoreboard last night, St. James Lady Tigers defeated Bunker 52-43 in a varsity-only matchup. It was the Bourbon Ladies defeating Rolla Homeschool 64-26. Lynn down New Haven 39-28 in varsity. They played 2 quarters of JV with Lynn on top 19-10. Festus picked up a win over St. Clair, 64-50 in varsity, 56-12 in JV. Father Tolton edging Herman 62-60 in overtime in the varsity game last night. Tolton also won the JV contest 57-25. The only boys game on last night's schedule, Bell picked up a couple of wins at Lynn, 53-36 in varsity, 47-33 in JV. Middle school boys basketball from last night, South Callaway over New Haven, 59-45 in the 8th grade, 39-18 in the 7th grade game. Checking out the schedule of games for tonight in girls basketball, Sullivan Lady Eagles start their season at home taking on St. Dominic. They'll have freshmen, JV, and varsity at 4 o'clock for the freshman game. We'll broadcast that varsity game tonight. Bell will be at Fulton, JV and varsity at 6. Cuba with Viburnum at St. Elizabeth, JV and varsity at 6. Washington at Pacific. They'll play 1/2 JV starting at 5:30, followed by the varsity, and the varsity game should get underway around 6:15 or so. Steelville at Dixon will be varsity girls, followed by varsity boys, with the girls starting at 5 o'clock. Boys basketball tonight, the St. Francis Borgia Thanksgiving tournament gets underway. First round games tonight. It'll be number 2 seed Confluence Prep taking on number 7 Union at 6 o'clock, followed by number 3 Jackson and number 6 Owensville. 6 o'clock game on Wednesday is top seed Principia against Pacific, followed by Borgia and Washington at around 7:30. Other games tonight, Wright City will be at Herman, JV then varsity starting at 6. At that game tonight, the Herman High School Student Council is sponsoring an Alzheimer's Awareness Night. They'll be doing a 50-50 raffle with the winner drawn at halftime of the varsity game. All funds raised will be donated to the Cure for Alzheimer's Foundation. New Haven is at Bell tonight at 6 o'clock, Bourbon at Valley at 5:30, Steelville at Dixon, again that's varsity girls, then varsity boys. Boys should start around 6:30. Washington will be at Pacific for a freshman game at 4:15 this afternoon. In middle school boys basketball tonight, Owensville will be at New Haven at 6 o'clock, Steelville at West County at 5:30. High school wrestling, Owensville hosting a girls tournament tonight. Sullivan, Union, and Borgia will be among the local teams that are participating at Owensville. And in middle school wrestling, they're off until after the holidays. Sports on the air, we have high school basketball, our opening game of the season. Sullivan hosting St. Dominic. The freshman game will start at 4 o'clock, followed by JV, and we'll broadcast the varsity game. Pregame sometime around 7 o'clock tonight on 102.1 KTUI FM. That's your look at sports on this Tuesday from the Sullivan Bank Studios of KTUI Radio. Have a great day, everybody. This is Bobby D.
At Seidenstricker Nobe, we're here to keep your equipment running strong. Right now, our winter service packages come with free pickup and delivery on all John Deere 1 through 5 series tractors, gators, and mowers. Let our certified technicians get your equipment prepped and ready for spring. Book your service today and enjoy worry-free maintenance with free pickup and delivery only for a limited time. Seidenstricker Nobe, your partner for the land.
Offer valid through 12/31/2024. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
It is 28 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock and 33 degrees here at the studios of KTUI. And with me on Google Meet this morning is Dan Zarlinga. He is communications with the Missouri Department of Conservation. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Doing good. How are you doing?
Doing well. So
there's
all kinds of things going on with conservation, and one of them I saw that you're going to be able to go out and watch the eagles.
Yeah, so this is eagle watching season, basically. We're getting right into it right now. So December through about February is the best time of the year to see eagles in Missouri. Now, we do have bald eagles year round that are actually resident and they nest and they breed here. But during these 3 months coming up, we have an influx of eagles from the north because one of the favorite foods that eagles like to eat is fish. And as we go farther north into Canada and the Great Lakes states and it starts getting colder, a lot of those waters will freeze up with ice. So those birds now come down to our area and stay the winter here. And we have this great resource, the Missouri and the Mississippi rivers coming together here at the big confluence. So we have a lot of open waters. It's a big migration path. So they just naturally come to Missouri to hang out for the winter. So basically our population of eagles swells tremendously during these 3 months. And if folks want to see eagles, I mean, the best thing to do is get out somewhere near a body of water, whether it's a big lake or whether it's a river, even along, say, the Merrimack. And a lot of times you'll see eagles there because they like to eat fish. They'll perch in the trees on the banks. They roost in those trees, and then they'll go out and catch fish in the rivers and lakes as well. So if you want to get out there, best time to see them, early morning, right, first hour or two after sunrise, maybe an hour or two before sunset is an ideal time to get out and take a look at them.
All right. Well, I know that Conservation has a program called A Year of New Beginnings in hunting, angling, and shooting. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so this is a program we've been running all year, basically. So it's kind of winding down here for the last month of December, but it's never too late to make a new beginning. And that's what the whole philosophy behind this is to offer beginner opportunities to get into hunting, angling, and shooting sports. And so each month we're offering a number of programs geared to that to help beginners get a start in these areas. And for example, in this particular month of December for hunting, we're offering venison burger and sausage making and cooking with venison. A couple of great programs there for what you can do after you get done hunting. So if you want to get a start in how to make use of your deer, that's a great opportunity. We're also, as far as the angling front goes, we're offering a couple of learn to fish all about trout lessons that we're offering. And so this time of year, we've got our urban trout program in full swing. So it's an opportunity for people to learn about and get into trout fishing. And then we also, for the shooting sports, we have introduction to muzzle rifles. So if you want to get more of a historic feel for firearms or a little bit more of a challenge, and you want to learn something new in firearms, muzzle loading rifles is a great opportunity. So again, best thing to check our website, mdc.mo.gov. And we have all that stuff on our website. So it's a great program. We may be possibly doing it again in 2025, but the 2024 sequence is winding down with December here.
So the Audubon Society has their annual Christmas bird count. How is the conservation helping with that?
Yeah, so are definitely encouraging folks to get involved with that. It's a great tradition. It goes back, it's got an interesting history. Back in the late 1800s and early 1900s, it was a tradition to go out on Christmas Day and basically people go out with guns in the field and they'd shoot as many animals and birds as they possibly could. That was just their tradition. And then some forward-thinking ornithologists and conservationists at the time realized that, hey, maybe we can turn this tradition into something productive. So instead of killing animals and birds, why don't we count them? And so they started the first Christmas bird count, transition from the Christmas hunt to the Christmas bird count. And it's been going strong for decades and decades ever since. And what it is, it's a citizen science opportunity for folks to get out there and help count birds either by sight or by song, identifying their song. And then they tabulate all the birds that they document. And then they upload that to an online database, which really does help us keep track of bird activity this time of year. And so what happens is you have a count compiler, and then you contact that count compiler, and they kind of set up and manage the count. And then you all get together, you do like a 15-mile radius, a circle, and you go through that area and you count the birds and stuff on a particular day at a particular time frame. and then you tabulate all those results. So there's going to be there's counts all over the state, all over the country. Maybe the ones closest to us in Franklin County would be the Weldon Spring count. That's in Weldon Spring in St. Charles there, county, and that's on the 15th of December. And then there's one at Merrimack Spring at, right there at, near St. James on the 14th. So best thing to do is go to Audubon's website or just look up Audubon Christmas bird count in Google or something like that, and you can get right to it. It's got an interactive map of all the count circles and count locations and dates. So great program for citizen science and for folks to get involved and have fun and learn more. And you don't have to be a bird expert either, because they can help you out with a lot of that.
So how did the first weekend the CWD testing for deer go?
Yeah, so that went pretty well. I mean, as usual, Franklin County was top harvest in the state with about 1,600, a little over 1,600 deer harvested. Total count for the state was a little over 68,000. That was November 16th and 17th, the opening weekend. The CWD harvesting testing went great. We had a number of sites in Franklin County. Total number of collections for the state was a little over 19,000, which was not too bad. Now, we were down from last year. Last year, total harvest was 90,000, a little over 90,000. So we did experience about a 30% drop overall. And that was due to a number of factors. The warm weather was not as encouraging for deer to move. We had a very strong acorn crop, so deer had a lot more food available to them. So again, less incentive for them to move around, and with less movement, hunters are going to see them less and have less opportunity. So a lot of it was kind of weather related, where we had a little bit slower year this year than normal. But I don't have figures since opening weekend. We've had cooler weather, so maybe conditions have improved a bit.
So then I saw that the boat ramp at the Truman Access has been temporarily closed.
Yeah, so, we had those big, horrendous rains with like 9 inches dumped in various places a couple of weeks ago. And unfortunately, that did a lot of damage to some of our boat ramps on the rivers. In the case of Truman Access, yes, that was definitely damaged, and that is closed until further notice. Also, our Flam City Access, which is on the Merrimack River, more in Jefferson County, that's also been closed too due to significant damage. So our crews are assessing the situation right now. They're trying to determine, how the extent of the damage, what needs to be done, and how long it'll take. But we're still kind of waiting to get all that information compiled. So for the time being, they will be closed. I would recommend checking our website again, mdc.mo.gov. And you can kind of keep up on when what the latest developments are and when those will be open again. They will be open eventually, but for the time being, they're not accessible. Now, I will say this: the Truman Access also is a combination of an access onto the river, but it also provides walk-in access to the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's Harlow Island. So the parking lot at Truman Access is still open, and you can still access Harlow Island by foot, but you just can't put into the river with a boat.
All right. So you touched on this a little bit, that there's some cooking classes and things, and but I saw the Bush Shooting Range was going to have a teaching venison burger and sausage making, and then I think Columbia Bottoms or something was cooking with venison. Some of those things coming up.
Yeah, so there's a couple of neat programs. I did mention them quickly, but I can get a little bit more detail. The Bush Shooting Range is this coming up this December 2nd here, is doing a thing on teaching venison burger and sausage making. So that's a real common thing that people like to do with venison, grind it up for sausage and burgers. And as a ground meat, it's very useful for things like, well, obviously making burgers, but beyond that, you can use it in chilies, you can use it in casseroles, you can use it in spaghetti sauce, you can make meatloaf with it. So a lot of different things. It's very useful in that form. So basically what it's focusing on is how to get the best quality of meat and how to process it to get the best quality ground meat for sausage and burgers. So that's December 2nd from 5 to 7 p.m. at the August A. Bush Shooting Range in Defiance. That's off Highway D. And then you mentioned the Columbia Bottom one. and that's more focused on just kind of generally cooking with venison. It's not specifically sausage and burger, but it sort of gives you an overview of some things you can do, some good recipes you can use to cook with venison. And that class is on December 7th, and that one runs from 12 to 2 p.m., and that'll be at Columbia Bottom Conservation Area in Spanish Lake, which is in North St. Louis County. But it's kind of just gives you an overview of how you can prepare a range of dishes from steaks to chili to stir fry. You can use it in stir fry. So a lot of different things you can do with venison, and it's going to kind of cover a lot of different options.
So, Dan,
and all these things are free. All these programs are free, but you do need to sign up in advance. Again, on our website, mdc.mo.gov, under the events tab.
So I know the Share the Harvest program's been around for a number of years, but for people who don't know what it is, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure. So while we're on the subject of eating and venison and stuff, Share the Harvest is a great opportunity for hunters to help give back to the community. Hunters have the option, it's not mandatory, but they have the option of donating some or all of their deer to the Share the Harvest program. And then what happens with that meat is it's processed at a select processor, usually into ground meat, because that's the most versatile and easy to transport. But then it's distributed through food shelters and food pantries to help those who are in need. So it's a way for hunters to help feed those who are in need, help give back to the community, and help and make good use of their venison. Now, if you donate whole deer to the program, you can get a partial reimbursement from the Conservation Federation of Missouri of up to $75 to help defray the cost of the processing fee. So that's helpful if you donate the whole deer. If you donate part of the deer, then you still have to pay the processing fee, but of course you get the portion of the deer you want, and you can donate the portion you want. So it's a really good program. It's kind of a win-win. And for hunters to maybe get more deer than they can eat, that's a good way for them to make good use of it. All right. Again, more information on our website. And there are select processors you can go to donate your deer. Now, one other little note too, if you do have a deer that's been taken from a CWD county, you do need to donate it to a designated processor that will test it for CWD before they donate it. And if it does come back positive, they won't donate it. So they definitely screen it before they donate it to the program.
All right, Dan, you've mentioned the website several times, but there are also hunting and fishing apps, and you can actually carry your hunting license through the app and things like that, right?
Yeah, so we have several different apps actually, but one called Mo Hunting that's specifically for hunting. It's a free download. It's available on Android or iPhone platform, either one. And it basically allows you to purchase your purchase your permits right through the app. And then you can download it right onto the phone. And then if you're out in the field, if you contact with a conservation agent, you can show them your permit right on the phone. And in fact, that's most of when we worked at the CWD check stations a couple of weeks ago, that's mainly what hunters did. I'd say 80% of hunters had it on their phone, made things a lot easier, don't have to mess with paper or anything like that. So very convenient. You can review your permit history also, which is very helpful. And then we have a Mo Fishing app, which you can do the same thing, purchase all your fishing permits and have them on your phone. Plus, it's got other helpful things like you can it tells you what lakes are nearby, and it even gives you information about where we've installed cover, like Christmas trees and things like that, to make more fish cover, which could improve your chance of catching a fish if you fish around there. It's also got a handy ID guide to help you ID fish. So both of them are really good. And then we also have a Mo Outdoors app, which is more geared to more like hiking and bird watching and camping and things like that. So very helpful apps. They're all free. They're available over both iPhone and Android platforms. Free downloads.
All right, Dan, I know this is really supposed to be a day off for you, so I appreciate you taking some time to talk with us this morning. And I guess we'll still talk to you again next month before Christmas, but enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday, and we will see you then, I guess.
Awesome. Well, you too. Thanks for the opportunity.
All right. That is Dan Zarlinga with the Missouri Department of Conservation, and I do appreciate him taking the time to talk to us this morning. All right, it is 16 minutes in front of 9 o'clock here at the studios of KTUI. Bobby D joining me now, and good morning once again, Bob.
Howdy, Sam.
So, let's see. I still have Becky Jones scheduled to be here at 9:10 this morning. She's one of the assistant superintendents at the Sullivan School District. Did you play the Powerball last night?
You know, I did not buy a ticket.
So
I totally forgot.
Yeah. My wife, when she got home last night, she said, I need gas. And I said, okay. So, you know, I know for a fact that she can put gas in the vehicle, but, you know, she has a broken wrist now, so, you know.
Yeah, okay.
So anyway, I made her go in and buy tickets while we were getting gas. And anyway, we didn't win.
Okay.
The winning Powerball numbers for last night were 5, 35, 45, 60, 63. The Powerball was 12. Power Play was 2 times. No grand prize winner. The estimated grand prize was $183.6 million. The next Powerball drawing will be tomorrow night, and the estimated jackpot will be $196 million. Really what I was after was the Mega Millions, because it's getting close to $500 million, you know. And
I could make do with that.
Yeah, I could
winning.
I could look at retiring, you know.
Yeah, I could think about it. I wouldn't have, you know.
But the estimated Mega Millions jackpot's up to $489 million. Or you could opt for the cash, $225.3 million, if you didn't want to take the annuity, you know, and I have to call J.G. Wentworth or whatever.
I don't know if they'd pay off on that.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
But the next drawing is tonight at 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, all right.
Yeah.
All right, well, Missouri voters weighed in on several statewide issues in the November 5th election.
Yes.
But it was Amendment 3 that garnered the most attention nationwide. Voters said yes to reversing the state's abortion ban. Missouri was one of 9 states to include an abortion rights measure on the 2024 general election ballot. Amendment 3, the Right to Reproductive Freedom Initiative, legalizes abortion and reverses Missouri's strict abortion ban that went into effect after Roe v. Wade was overturned by the U.S. Supreme Court. It prevents the government from restricting a person's right to make and carry out decisions related to reproductive health care. However, the amendment allows the government to regulate abortion after fetal viability, the point in a pregnancy when the fetus would be likely to survive outside of the uterus without extraordinary medical measures, usually at about 24 weeks, so long as it does not interfere or restrict abortion in the event it's determined to be necessary to protect the life or health of the pregnant person. Now, according to data reported by the Associated Press November 25th, 100% of precincts were reported. An estimated 99% of the total vote was in. The amendment passed by a margin of about 95,000 votes, which was a margin of about 3.2%. That data further showed that 7 of the state's 114 counties and city of St. Louis voted in favor of the amendment, while 107 counties voted against it, and yet it passed.
Yeah.
St. Louis City, County, and St. Charles County accounted for 554,372 of the yes votes, or about 36% of the total. Boone County, home to Columbia, multiple counties in the Kansas City area, were also among the counties that had the highest yes vote totals. The city of St. Louis was the jurisdiction that backed the amendment by the widest margin, with almost 83% voting yes. Now we gave these, but it's been a little while. St. Louis area counties, this is how they voted. Crawford County, 68% no, 32% yes. Franklin County, 60% no, 40% yes. Gasconade County, almost 68% no and 32% yes. Iron County was 69 no, 31 yes. Jefferson County, 53 no, 47 yes. Lincoln County, 62% no, 38% yes. Phelps County was about 60-40 no to yes. And then Washington County was 70% no, 30% yes. So we see the trend. I look at these numbers, and if anybody wants to argue about why we still need electoral college, that is a perfect example, because 7 counties out of 114 plus the city of St. Louis decided an issue that affects everybody in the state.
But conversely, they would probably tell you that's why we don't need the electoral college.
Yeah, well, no,
But-
yeah.
I can remember there was a time where I thought, without really knowing how the electoral college operated, there was a time when I thought that, that we probably could do without it. But as I learned more about it, I read why it was put in and how it works and everything, and I'm still a firm believer that we need the electoral college.
Without it, there would be the big cities would control everything in nationally.
Exactly. So the average adult will reach a boiling point 156 times a year and needs 35 minutes to calm down each time. 1 in 4 even want to scream and pull their hair out when they see red.
Good thing they're not around here on Fridays.
And and a study shows that marrying a happy person will make you happier. Of course,
okay, now that does make some sense.
Yeah, but you're bound to get sick and tired of seeing all the smiley faces on your pancakes in the morning. That.
Well, I'm not home for.
Oh well, me either.
Usually, when I am home for breakfast, I fix my own. So
that's like the ones that do you make your bed when you get up in the morning? No, if I did, my wife would be mad.
Because she's still in it.
She's still there. A woman in India successfully divorced her husband after he refused to allow her to watch soap operas. The husband's ban had led to daily arguments between the couple. Eventually, the wife decided the situation was unbearable and filed for divorce. Granting her application, the family court judge said that the husband had been picking arguments with his wife for more than 4 years. Well,
okay, well,
if
that's all they needed for divorce,
I can imagine telling my wife that you can't watch soap operas, and not she doesn't watch soap operas, but I can imagine me telling her, and she's like, yeah, I'll do whatever I want, and.
Well, if you're like me and you have multiple TVs.
Yeah, well, we do, but but even I wouldn't want. I don't know. I can growing up, I stayed with my grandmother a lot, and she watched soap operas, and I just, even as a kid, I just thought, man, these things are dumb.
Yeah. Well, anyway, birthdays today. Musician Johannes Bach. 1604 was the father of the so-called Erfurt line of Bach family musicians. Yeah. There's a bunch of them. When I was looking this up, I didn't realize how many of them there were. I mean, there was Johannes Sebastian Bach. Of course, he was different from this Bach.
Yeah.
They were all related, but they were from different areas.
Yeah.
They were from different areas of Germany, and so they each had their own identity.
What was it? BJ and Hawkeye, they told Radar when the girl talked about Bach, he was Bach.
Clergyman and college benefactor John Harvard, 1607 when he was born. In 1637, he emigrated to the Massachusetts Bay Colony, where he became a teaching elder and assistant preacher at the First Church in Charlestown. He died of tuberculosis in 1638, leaving a large sum of money and his 400-volume scholars library to the colony's new school, which the colony then voted to name in his honor. And he has a statue in the Harvard Yard to this day. A surgeon and women's rights leader Mary Edwards Walker, born 1832. She was an abolitionist, prohibitionist, was a prisoner of war in the Civil War, and a surgeon. She was the only woman to receive the Medal of Honor. She attempted to join the Union Army at the outbreak of the war, but was turned away. She was assigned then to the hospital, was a nurse and surgeon for the Union forces, was actually captured by Confederates after going behind lines to treat wounded soldiers, was sent as a prisoner of war to Richmond, but released in a prisoner exchange. U.S. Army scout, lawman, gambler, and journalist Bat Masterson, 1853. He was established himself as a buffalo hunter, civilian scout, and Indian fighter on the Great Plains. Later earned fame as a gunfighter and sheriff in Dodge City. Later on, he became a gambler and then turned his interest to prize fighting and journalism. He was a reporter and columnist for the Morning Telegraph in New York City for several years and was known as a leading sports writer by the time he died in 1921.
And he always used to wear that bowler hat.
The bowler hat.
I saw that on TV.
Yeah. Well, and all the things that all the pictures of him, he always wore it. TV journalist Eric Sevareid, born in 1912, American author and CBS News journalist for a long time, was one of a group of elite war correspondents who were hired by Edward R. Murrow and nicknamed Murrow's Boys. He was first to report on the fall of Paris in 1940 when the city was captured by the Germans. Followed in Murrow's footsteps as a commentator on the CBS Evening News. Charles Schulz, the cartoonist.
I wondered why it was Good Grief Day.
Yeah, that's he born 1922, the creator of the comic strip Peanuts, with the two best-known characters, Charlie Brown and Snoopy, regarded as one of the most influential cartoonists in history, cited by many other well-known cartoonists as a major influence in their careers. Singer-actor Robert Goulet, born 1933, really his big break when he was cast as Sir Lancelot in the Broadway musical Camelot, and his performance gained him widespread recognition and praise. He went on to star in television versions of Brigadoon and Carousel, many appearances on Broadway, TV shows, movies, probably more to recent fans as Quentin Hapsburg, the villain in the Naked Gun 2.5, The Smell of Fear. Comedian Rich Little, still cooking at 86, but doesn't really get out and do much anymore as far as his shows. The Man of 1,000 Voices. Became best known for his impression of U.S. President Richard Nixon. He actually was...
I am not a crook.
I am not a crook. He actually was doing the impression of Nixon while he was talking to Nixon, and Nixon didn't realize he was making fun of him. He was a regular on the Dean Martin Celebrity Roast in the 1970s, was a frequent guest on variety and talk shows, including The Tonight Show, where he had a guest host of the program dozens of times. He actually, his impersonation of Johnny Carson, which was spot on with his voice and mannerisms, it actually made Johnny mad, and somewhere along early 80s, they wouldn't invite him back to the show. Musician Tina Turner, the queen of rock and roll, born in 1939, of course, with her husband Ike until, he kind of went off on her, so to speak. They had several hits. She had big hits herself. What's Love Got to Do with It? Also did a little acting. Gene Terrell, the musician, is 80, replaced Diana Ross as the lead singer of the Supremes in 1970. John McVie or McVeigh, I think some of them call him, 79, best known as a member of John Mayhall and the Blues Breakers, and Fleetwood Mac. Of course, his surname combined with that of drummer Mick Fleetwood was the source of the band's name. He's been with Fleetwood Mac since 67, I believe it was. Football Hall of Famer Art Shell, 78. Played in the AFL and NFL for the Oakland and LA Raiders, winning 2 Super Bowls, was 2 times head coach of the Raiders. Country singer Linda Davis is 62. Highest chart entry was Does He Love You, a duet with Reba McEntire, which went to number 1 in 1993. She's married to country singer Lang Scott, and her daughter is Hillary Scott of Lady A. Actress Kristen Bauer is 58, was a vampire on True Blood on HBO. Jerry's girlfriend Jillian with the man hands on Seinfeld, and as Maleficent in the ABC series Once Upon a Time. It wasn't actually her hands when they showed him. It was one of the production assistants. Actress Garcelle Beauvais is 58, was in the Jamie Foxx show, NYPD Blue, and in the films Coming to America and its sequel, White House Down and Spider-Man Homecoming. Writer James Dashner is 52, wrote the Maze Runner series. Actor Peter Fasinelli is 51. He was in the Twilight film series, was also in a regular on Nurse Jackie on Showtime, and was on the first season of Supergirl. DJ Khaled, or Khaled, as some will call him, 49, was a Miami radio personality, then got into the music industry as a DJ for some high-profile artists. Robert Racco is 35, was on Riverdale, Supernatural, and the Fox series Lethal Weapon. Musician actress Rita Ora, 34. She played Mia Gray in the 50 Shades film series. And Luca Sabat, the actor, 27, played Luca Hall in the TV series Grownish. And that's my birthdays.
All right. Increasing cloudiness today, high near 49. Mostly cloudy tonight, low around 36. Going to be cloudy tomorrow, 40% chance of rain, mainly after 4 p.m., high around 49. It's 33 degrees right now at the studios of KTUI, 32 out at Sullivan Regional Airport. We are AM 1560, KTUI Sullivan 94.1 FM. It's 9 o'clock.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rhett Thomason. President-elect Trump says one of the first things he'll do when he gets back into the White House is to impose stiff tariffs on all goods from China. The goal is to force Beijing to crack down on fentanyl production, stem the flow of deadly drugs into the U.S. And White House correspondent Greg Clugston says there's more.
China is not the only target for Donald Trump's promised tariffs. He said he would sign an executive order imposing a 25% tariff on all products coming into the United States from Canada and Mexico. Writing on social media, he complained about ridiculous open borders and said on January 20th, he will sign an executive order slapping a 25% tariff on Mexican and Canadian imports. Greg Clugston, the White House.
And now Mexico threatening to impose tariffs on U.S. goods. The Trump team calls a federal judge's ruling a major victory for the rule of law. A federal criminal case accusing Mr. Trump of trying to overturn the 2020 election has been tossed out. The dismissal came after prosecutors moved to drop that prosecution, as well as the classified documents case against Mr. Trump. It's happening again. The U.S. Air Force says a small number of drones have been spotted near several American bases in eastern England. The same thing happened just a few days ago. So far, there's been no word who's behind it. DEI bites the dust yet again. Walmart is the latest and one of the biggest companies to roll back its diversity, equity, and inclusion policies. A court in Missouri has upheld a new state law, one that bans some so-called gender-affirming health care for minors. The state's Republican Attorney General says Missouri is the first state to successfully defend such a policy in trial court. Wall Street, the Dow down 191 points, the Nasdaq trading 81 points higher, and the S&P is up 13. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. From Angel Studios comes Bonhoeffer, based on the powerful true story of Dietrich Bonhoeffer. As the Nazis tighten their grip on Germany, Bonhoeffer joins a deadly plot to assassinate Hitler, risking his faith and fate to save millions of Jews from genocide.
You will go to England as a spy.
I'm ready to meet my destiny.
Bonhoeffer, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13. Exclusively in theaters now. Go to angel.com/Bonhoeffer.
G'day to you, Jean-Luc here with For King and Country, and we're bringing our Drummer Boy Christmas Live experience to a big screen near you.
It's a cinematic concert film that will usher in the birth of Jesus like never before.
For King and Country, a Drummer Boy Christmas Live, in theaters December 5th through 9th.
So light up that Christmas tree
and let us celebrate the greatest news this world has ever known.
For King and Country, a Drummer Boy Christmas.
Tickets, showtimes, and locations available now at forkingandcountry.com.
The Justice Department and Google have presented their closing arguments in a trial alleging that Google's online ad technology constitutes an illegal monopoly.
The arguments come as Google is already facing a possible breakup of the company over its ubiquitous search engine. The Justice Department says it'll seek the breakup of Google to remedy its search engine monopoly. The case focuses not on the search engine, but on technology that matches online advertisers to consumers on the Internet. A judge is expected to rule by the end of the year.
Correspondent Jeremy House. The Ukrainian Air Force says Russia launched 188 drones against most regions of Ukraine in a nighttime blitz. The Air Force describes it as a record number of drones deployed in a single attack. It says most of them were intercepted, but apartment buildings and crucial infrastructure, such as the national power grid, did suffer some damage. News and analysis, townhall.com. There's much speculation over the political future of Republican Senator Bill Cassidy of Louisiana, given his yes vote on Trump impeachment.
Cassidy was one of 7 Senate Republicans who voted to convict Mr. Trump in 2021, and he has at times been vocally critical of the president-elect. Trump, in turn, has bashed him as a, quote, total flake and, quote, a stiff. Cassidy's campaign spokesman confirmed that the senator is running for re-election, though he hasn't made a formal announcement yet. Some Republicans already expect the Louisiana senator to face a primary challenge as his vote and past remarks receive renewed scrutiny. The Louisiana Republican irked members of his party when he voted to convict Trump, prompting the state party to censor him. Bernie Bennett reporting.
An Osprey aircraft, part of the presidential squadron transporting White House staffers and government officials from an event in New York yesterday, had to be grounded. One witness reported seeing flames under the right engine. No one was injured. More on these stories at townhall.com.
It's 5 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock here on a Tuesday morning. I'm Sam Scott. Glad to have you along. Increasing cloudiness for us today. High near 49. Mostly cloudy tonight. Low around 36. Going to be cloudy tomorrow. 40% chance of rain, mainly after 4 p.m. High near 49. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night. There's a 40% chance of rain before midnight. Low around 30. Then mostly sunny on Thanksgiving Day. High near 40. Mostly clear Thursday night, low around 21, and then sunny on Friday, high near 36. It's 33 degrees right now at the studios of KTUI, 32 out at Sullivan Regional Airport. It's time for the For Sale Show. If you've got something that you'd like to buy, sell, or trade, you can give me a call right now, 468-5101. 468-5101, or you can text me at 573-677-1001. That's 573-677-1001. Or you can send me an email. Just send it to forsale@ktui.com. You can use the number 4 or spell it out, FOR, sale@ktui.com. Somebody's looking for some roof shingles. They don't care what color they are, whatever. They just wanted to do their carport. I think they said nobody was going to see them, so they don't care. 573-259-0098. 573-259-0098. Woman's got 60 Louis L'Amour books. Make an offer. And she also has a large burgundy rocker recliner. She says it's in good shape. She wants $50 for it. Her number is 314-308-4253. 314-308-4253. All right, got 8 ranks of white oak logs, $65 a rank. It's dry wood, not too hard to get to. 573-205-9241. 573-205-9241. Nigerian dwarf goats, 314-605-8637. 314-605-8637. A woman's got some books on how to play the mandolin. 573-764-4435. She also has that 48 Dodge 5-window pickup, and it's a 6-cylinder. She said it ran when they parked it a couple, 2-3 years ago. And the number again, 573-764-4435. The woman's got some chickens, some turkey eggs, some turkeys, baby monitor, some coveralls, a camo Arctic jacket. Call her at 573-617-9109. 573-617-9109. That's it for my list of items here this morning on the For Sale Show. It is 8 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock, and I'll be back right after you hear this on KTUI. Stay tuned.
Pre-wash clothes and other items right in the washer with a convenient built-in water faucet that gives you easy access to an instant water stream. A Whirlpool top-load washer with a 360 wash agitator keeps clothes moving to provide a thorough clean in a variety of water levels.
For mattresses, furniture, flooring, and appliances, see the folks at Jerry's TV and Home Furnishings at 375 West Springfield in Sullivan, or call 468-4300.
All right, 33 degrees here at the studios, 32 out at the airport. And Heartland Gospel Church is located at 242 Center Point Road in Steelville. They're going to have a Christmas program with Doyle Hollison, Kevin and Kim Abney. That's all coming up on November 30th at 6 p.m. Fellowship following with finger foods. Everyone is welcome. The great story of I was going to say Christmas, but the great story of Christ in Scripture and song. Again, that's all coming up on November 30th at 6 p.m. in Steelville. And let's see, if you don't have a place to go for Thanksgiving, go to the Eagles Hall. They're having their Don't Stay Home Alone Thanksgiving dinner, and I think the doors open at noon. They're going to be serving from 1 till 4 p.m. That's the Eagles Hall in Sullivan. So do that. There's going to be a Christmas tree lighting. That's going to be December 5th at 5 p.m. in the Town & Country Supermarket Plaza. It's hosted by the Bourbon Boosters. And then don't forget the Gospel Hootenanny Christmas concert to benefit families with children who have fallen on hard times. And that's coming up December 6th at 7 p.m. at New Life of Hope Church, 72 Shamrock Drive. I think there are up to 24 families. Last year we did 9. I think we were able to raise enough money to give 9 families about $500 apiece. This year, we're up to 24 last I heard, and there's no way that the Hootenanny can raise that much money on its own, so we're asking for help from whoever can help. If you'd like to send a check, send it to the radio station here. Our P.O. Box is 99, so send it in care of me, Sam Scott, KTUI Radio, P.O. Box 99, Sullivan, Missouri, 63080-0099. Make the check out to me, Sam Scott, and in the memo put Gospel Hootenanny, because that's the only way that we can get it cashed. So please do that. I've already gotten several checks. I appreciate that. And they will be going to those families. All right, let's get on to our interview this morning. And let me get this microphone up there a little bit closer, Becky. And Becky Jones is with the Sullivan School District. She is one of the assistant superintendents. And good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Doing very well. Thank you.
So we're in a holiday week. When's the last day? Tomorrow?
Today's last day. So students will be off the 27th through the 29th, and we'll come back on December 3rd. We have Teacher PD on December 2nd, so that Monday.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So a lot of good things planned, a lot of learning going on for our teachers and staff, and really looking forward to that day, but also looking forward to the break.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what other things are going? I know I was there not too long ago for the Chamber of Commerce thing in the library. The library looked very nice. And then we saw some singing in the theater and everything. I didn't take the tour. I don't know if anybody did, but
I think several people did stay and take the tour.
Yeah, but the high school has changed somewhat and is getting ready to change some more, right?
Yeah, construction going on. They're getting ready to pour footings this week, so in front of the building. So a lot of things happening. It'll be really nice once it gets
that's for the secure vestibule, right?
Yes.
And then around back, going to try to attach the 2 buildings, right?
Yes. Yes, pretty much. Make it more safe for our kids.
Yeah. So, we'll make the annex building attached to the main part of the high school to where you don't have to go outside.
Yes.
Which was safer, and you won't get rained on.
That'll be nice.
Yeah. Right. All right. Anything else facing the school?
Well, we have girls basketball kicking off tonight.
Yeah.
Tournaments coming up next week for our boys, and wrestling is also going on. So our winter activities are in full swing.
So you've taken over the mantle of what is it, CIA, right?
Curriculum. Yeah.
And what's it? Instruction
and assessment.
And you'd thought after all the years I interviewed Cindy, I would remember that, but I know it's CIA. I just never can remember what the A stands for, I guess. But so what's going on with that?
So, we're just working hard. We did get our APR, that is release day. That's the annual performance report. So we are presenting that to the Board of Education tonight. So we have some things to improve on, but we've also got a lot of great things happening with our kids. Our teachers, administrators are doing a great job just providing professional development and providing high quality instruction for our kids. So really excited about the things going on.
So, we've got, I don't know, how old are the kids now that were, I think all the kids were affected, but the kids that were in the very, like first and second grade and stuff during COVID, where are we at with them now?
That would have been 2020.
Yeah.
So almost 5 years later.
Yeah. So are we seeing the effects of that?
I think we're past that now.
Are we?
I think it's time to just start moving forward, moving ahead.
But are those kids caught up?
I think we probably still see some learning gaps, but I don't think they're that wide. We've got a lot of things in place in the district as far as interventions in our MTSS initiative. So that's the multi-tiered systems of support that we work with the district of continuous improvement. We have consultants that come in and work with us, and so we've been making a lot of progress in that area.
So it's my understanding at Sullivan that the teachers, they have kind of guidelines for their curriculum, but they are able to work on their own teaching ways, and they present that, I guess. Is that to you? Do they?
Yes. So they do have to teach their priority standards. So those are priority standards that are set to us from DESE, from the Missouri Learning Standards. And then I do oversee that along with the instructional coaches and administrators in the building. So just to make sure that alignment is happening and is being followed with fidelity.
Okay. All right. Well, I know this is a short week for everybody there, and I think, and then the Christmas break will be coming up. And it's kind of a long one this year, isn't it?
It is long. I want to say we're done on the 19th. That's a half day.
Oh, wow.
And then kids come back January 8th because we'll have January 6th as a professional development day, and then the 7th will be a teacher work day.
All right. And I know there's always a lot of excitement at the high school level when basketball is getting ready to start and everything. So they'll be looking for that. We'll be broadcasting tonight from the game. Yep. So, all right. Well, Becky, I appreciate you coming in, and we'll talk to you probably in a month or so.
All right.
So.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. It is now 16 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock here on this Tuesday morning. And I appreciate you spending some time with me here. And, I gave away one of the Santa's Magical Kingdom. I don't know if, are you, yeah, Bobby, I'm going to give away another pass here. So I've got another pass here to Santa's Magical Kingdom. And before I go here this morning, going to give it away to caller number 5. Caller number 5, 468-5101. 468-5101. One pass to Santa's Magical Kingdom out there at Jellystone Park. We've got one call there. You know what? Please say a prayer for the leadership of our country, the men and women who protect this great nation of ours. I don't hear anybody else calling, so call back. Call 5 times if you have to. Anyway, say a prayer for the, our local healthcare workers and first responders. And be a blood donor. Go to redcrossblood.org. You can download the app to your phone. All you have to do is put in your zip code. They'll tell you where the next closest blood drive is. Kind of waiting to see if we have a winner here yet. And be an organ donor. I think our winner of our last pass was Ron Laird, and not a winner yet, huh? Nancy Schmidt. Okay, we've got a winner now. Nancy Schmidt is our winner for the pass. Thank you for listening, Nancy, and congratulations on winning the pass. I'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m., and Mike Gallagher is up next here on KTUI. Stay tuned.
Powerful true story of Dietrich Bonhoeffer. As the Nazis tighten their grip on Germany, Bonhoeffer joins a deadly plot to assassinate Hitler, risking his faith and fate to save millions of Jews from genocide.
Du wohlgetriebene, as a spy.
I'm ready to meet my destiny.
Bonhoeffer, rated PG-13, may be inappropriate for children under 13. Exclusively in theaters now. Go to angel.com/Bonhoeffer.
This year I've given you so many reasons to try Balance of Nature, but I've got one now you cannot ignore. Let's review some of the other reasons. First, with Balance of Nature, you get a product made from whole fruit and veggie ingredients. Second, they can provide you with so many of the things you may be missing. Third, it could be just what you've been looking for to make you feel better. And as you already know, I take them every day. I think you'll agree this reason trumps them all. During November, with my special promo code, you'll get their Black Friday savings all month long. Use my discount code MikeG and sign up as a new customer to get 50% off plus free shipping. And as always, you get their money-back guarantee. This is an incredible deal, a great discount. You got to use my discount code MikeG. Get started. Balance of Nature. Call 800-246-8751 and use the discount code MikeG. 800-246-8751, discount code MikeG. Or order online at balanceofnature.com. Use the discount code MikeG to get 50% off plus free shipping from Balance of Nature.
Mike Gallagher.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-298-9534. That's 800-298-9534. 800-298-9534.
The new administration has hinted at one of its boldest moves yet, America's return to the gold standard. Backing the U.S. dollar with gold would create stability in a time of rapid economic change, pushing the price of gold higher than we've seen in decades. Those who act now could be positioned to benefit the most. Premier Gold specializes in helping those with a 401k, IRA, or other types of retirement accounts utilize a little-known loophole to move some of their savings into physical gold. Today, they'd like to send you a free gold standard kit to help you decide if this process is right for you. Call 606-800-8000 to take advantage of current rollover policies. Early action on physical gold could position your portfolio for maximum growth. Call Premier Gold at 606-800-8000. Call 606-800-8000 now. Premier Gold is not a financial advisor. Please consult with your advisor before investing. Call 606-800-8000.
Hi, Mom. Surprise, I brought you something.
Socks. Oh, heat holders original.
I use them for snow sports and around the farm. I also bought a bunch for my new work site.
I know what everyone is getting for gifts this holiday.
Heat holder socks are the warmest. We use a proprietary 3-stage process, making heat holders the softest, warmest, and most comfortable socks guaranteed. We also have hats, gloves, throws, and so much more. From now until Cyber Monday, use code HEAT25 to save 25% off your order. Free shipping for orders over $25. Heatholders.com.
Gallagher.
It's fun to watch the Trump dance sweeping through the nation. I just saw a video clip of a police officer on the sidelines at an NFL game doing the Trump dance to the strains of YMCA. Doesn't it feel good to feel good again? Doesn't it feel great to have the sense of relief that we have, that we won, that we're going to get this country back? And look at how these people are melting down. They are falling apart. I mean, my gosh, you see James Carville? This poor guy needs help. I mean, and look, he knows the score. He knows. He is so mad at the Democrats. He is so furious at the way the Democrats. Check out James Carville giving an interview somewhere. He's in it looks like in the backyard somewhere with a big set of headsets on and a big oversized pair of sunglasses, and he is furious at his party.
Not only am I not interested in your
opinion, I'm not even going to call you by your name. You're 23 years old. I don't really give a what you think. And let me tell you another huge error this way, is when people said campaigns need to reflect progressive values. No, they don't. No, they don't. If I were running a 2028 campaign and I had some little snot-nosed 23-year-old saying, I'm going to resign if you don't do this, not only would I fire that mother on the spot, I would find out who hired them and fire that person on the spot. I'm really not interested in your uninformed, stupid jack opinion.
I think things aren't going well for the Democrats right now. Look, elections have consequences. And these mayors who are trying to defy Trump's immigration policy, what is it? What's the last polling? 70% favor the mass deportation of illegals? These stupid mayors are sticking their heads in the sand and pretending we don't have a crisis in this country. And Americans know we do. One more note about Jack Smith dismissing the charges, the judge throwing out all the charges. Trump is completely off the hook. Remember something, he's off the hook for now. As has been pointed out, this vicious Jack Smith filed to have the charges dismissed without prejudice, which means they can start all over again when Trump leaves office in 4 years. If we don't have accountability for these people, if Trump doesn't clear out the FBI, the Justice Department, if they don't really and truly drain the swamp, it's going to happen all over again. They're not going to quit until they face accountability. There's got to be a reckoning for what they've put the country through. And until that reckoning happens, it's going to happen all over again. 800-655-MIKE. I want to stay positive, and how can I not be positive considering that you have already sponsored over 640 children in our Prison Fellowship Angel Tree campaign. Look, the holidays are here, Thanksgiving Day after tomorrow, Christmas will be here before you know it. I trust that you're going to have a warm, blessed Christmas with your family, but what about children who have a parent in prison? Every year at this time, I partner with the nonprofit ministry Prison Fellowship to help bless these kids through the Angel Tree program. There's a banner, a bright red banner at MikeOnline.com called Change a Child's Christmas, where you can click to donate. We send a Christmas gift, a message from the incarcerated parent, and a Bible. Listen to, look, there are so many people that have already contributed, but we got a long way to go. We have 678 kids sponsored. We got to get over 700 today. I got to get to 5,416 kids. For a boy or girl who receives a special Christmas gift, a note from his or her parent, and a Bible, that impact lasts all year long. It could change their life. This is the most blessed season of the year. If you're feeling thankful, if you're feeling grateful, please help support our Prison Fellowship campaign so we can send Christmas gifts to these beautiful children who have done nothing wrong to deserve the position they're in. Please go to MikeOnline.com and click on the bright red Change a Child's Christmas banner at the top of the page. You can also just text the keyword ANGEL to 800-655-MIKE. That's the MyPillow text line. We'll send you back the link. Let's have a big day today. Let's celebrate. Let's pay it forward. Let's be thankful. Let's be blessed. And let's save Christmas for these children who have a parent in prison. Just go to MikeOnline.com or text ANGEL to 800-655-MIKE. And thank you. If your approach to everyday aches and pains is to just mask the pain, feel better for a few hours, only to have the pain return and then repeat the cycle all over again, it's time to try Relief Factor. Like I did, the good news is Relief Factor has a 3-week quick start that's just $19.95, less than $1 a day. Instead of masking pain, Relief Factor helps eliminate it. Its unique formula of ingredients helps support your body's response to inflammation. Relief Factor was developed by a team of doctors. It's 100% drug-free, and for so many of us, the results belts are game-changing, even life-changing. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Get back to doing the things you love. Give it a try. Let's see if we can get you out of pain. Their 3-week quick start is just $19.95. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. 800-4RELIEF. See how in just a few weeks or maybe days, Relief Factor can reduce or even eliminate your pain. When you feel better, life is better. Don't just mask pain. Fight it naturally with Relief Factor.
Mike Gallagher.
I don't really like working. I'm gonna need a priority parking space. I only work remotely. How are your safe spaces? Can I bring my dog to work? Will your company protect me against microaggressions? You're triggering me. Is this interview almost over?
You don't run a daycare, you run a business. So why use high-priced recruitment agencies who charge you up to 40% of an employee's first-year salary? So they're focused on getting you the costly talent, not the best fit, which means you get more of this.
What's your policy on paying employees to attend protests? I demand 8 weeks of vacation. I need at least 12 weeks of paid vacation. I'm gonna need a lot of mental health days. Do you have a game room? My pronouns are Z's and Zir.
Isn't it time you hired grown-ups? Call redballoon.work and skip those high-priced recruitment agencies. Call 833-880-0600 for a free consultation. That's
With News on Missouri Net, I'm Marshall Griffin. A judge in southwest Missouri's Wright County has upheld the state's ban on transgender surgeries and medical treatments for minors. A group of people that include transgender teens, family members, and medical providers sued the state over a 2023 law that banned surgeries, puberty blockers, and other gender transition treatment for those under the age of 18. But Wright County Circuit Judge Craig Carter ruled Monday in the state's favor, saying the law is constitutional. In a statement, the ACLU of Missouri and Lambda Legal say they are extremely disappointed and will appeal. More than 208,000 electric vehicles are being recalled by Hyundai, Kia, and Genesis. The EVs are being recalled due to a potential loss of power that could lead to a crash. And the newest member of the Hall of Famous Missourians is the only person to have served as a state House Speaker and Senate President pro tem. The hall now includes a bust of the late Ron Richard. During a ceremony Monday at the Capitol, Governor-elect Mike Kehoe spoke about Richard, a Joplin Republican who was known for not mincing words.
You can take the man out of the bowling alley, but you can't take the bowling alley out of the man.
This is Missouri Net.
Black vultures can be harmful to livestock operations in Missouri. Hear from the Missouri Cattlemen's Association on the issue.
There's a lot of different techniques and strategies that you can use to harass the birds in a non-lethal way to get rid of them. Effigies, hanging dead birds in a tree works. Get those effigies through the USDA, or you can get a permit, kill one, and do that yourself. You can also cut down roosting trees that are a habitat for these birds. If you see a lot of birds in one tree, it's time for that tree to go. I will add that, vultures in general are very important to our ecosystem. Cleaning up the dead animals is extremely important. The turkey vultures do a good job of that. So do the black vultures. But the black vultures have become more aggressive. Our mission is not to eradicate birds. Our mission is to help farm and ranch families prevent economic devastation, which can make the difference between the black line or the red line in a financial year.
To find out more, go to agriculture.mo.gov.
Girls and boys in poverty around the world are dreaming of a better life, filled with dance, art, music, and knowledge. They dream of a brighter future with enough nutritious food to eat, a chance to learn and grow, to get an education, escape poverty, and do incredible things. Today, thanks to Children International and friends like you, such dreams are coming true. Together, we give children a chance to set their sights high and succeed in school and in life by ensuring that they have access to healthcare, education, life skills, and so much more so they can grow, thrive, and believe in themselves. Learn more about Children International and join us in our life-changing work at children.org today. Together, we can help end poverty for good.
Increasing cloudiness for the KTUI listening area today, high near 49. Mostly clear tonight, low around 36. Cloudy tomorrow, 40% chance of rain, mainly after 4 p.m., high near 49. Mostly cloudy skies tomorrow night, 40% chance of rain before midnight, low around 30. On Thanksgiving Day, mostly sunny skies, high near 40. Mostly clear Thursday night, low around 21. Then sunny on Friday, high near 36. KTUI time is 9:33, and the current temperature is 29 degrees. I'm Sam Scott for KTUI.
The Mike Gallagher Show.
Go yourselves. Go yourselves, you dishonest jokes of faux journalists. What an absurd farce that was, Glenn. Which one was insincere? He's Hitler? Or now we're going to speak truth to power and find a way of speaking to and working with Donald Trump? Which one was a lie?
In the ReliefFactor.com studios, here's Mike.
Jewish Insider in New York City is reporting that disgraced ex-governor Andrew Cuomo is planning to run for mayor in New York City. You know the crazy part? As goofy as New York voters are, they'll elect him. They'll put him back in office. He's the one that, with the classic defense over accusations of inappropriate sexual behavior. I'm not a pervert. I'm just Italian. Welcome to New York. What am I doing? I'm going there tomorrow. Holy cow. We're going to see the parade. Joey and Peg and I are going to go see some shows. Peg has never seen the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and considering the really lousy weather forecast for Thanksgiving Day in New York, we're going to do it right. Boy, did I splurge. Oof, oof. But we're in a hotel room with a prime parade view. And we're going to have a great time. We're going to go to see the Radio City Music Hall Christmas Spectacular. I'm so excited, and we're going to have a great time. And I hope you're going to be with your loved ones as well. I had some plans to be with my kids next week for the holidays, and that kind of got upended with my covering for Dennis Prager on the Caribbean cruise. Hugh Hewitt and I are covering for him. Dennis was hosting a cruise in the Caribbean next week, and of course, Dennis is recovering from a terrible fall. He's in the hospital. I'm told that he's making baby steps in terms of progress. He's continuing to get a little bit of improvement every day. He's awake. He's aware of what's going on. His mind is 100%, and he's following all the activities of politics and the country. Thank you for your prayers. Please keep praying for Dennis. And I've been touched by how many people are contributing to our Prison Fellowship Angel Tree Christmas campaign in Dennis's honor. That means so much to us here at the Mike Gallagher Show. Dennis, of course, is one of my favorite people in the world, and my heart is heavy over what he's going through, and I'm just grateful for the support that the country is giving him. And there's some nasty people. I saw last night on social media some of the most horrific comments about Dennis. I'm sure he would take it in stride, but there is so much evil in the world, and that's why we got to do good. You know, good always triumphs over evil. I'm a little worried about, I just did an appeal for our Angel Tree campaign, and I only got like 7 or 8 text messages with the keyword angel on it. I know how well things are going when I can see a whole bunch of texts come flying in on the MyPillow text line, and with only a few that came in, come on, I need you. We're at 678 kids sponsored right now. Hey, do it for Dennis. Do it in the spirit of a guy who's fighting right now and recovering from a terrible fall, suffered a very, very crucial injury. And look, let's get in this together.